Automotive Edge.
You are live.
And welcome everybody to the Automotive Edge social media site. We're about to ready to go on the radio here on Talk Radio 1190. So,
is Maddie working today?
I hear her. She sounds good.
I think so.
Oh, I think
I'm like physically here, but not mentally.
Well,
mentally.
This ought to be a great show.
Of course, it's always a great show.
How come you're having a trouble? What's going on here?
What do you mean?
Hold on. No, you need to be you're not on.
All right, we're going live.
Oh, here you are. There we go.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
Well. What do you do on a Saturday? Well, it's me, you, and a dog named Bo. Big Wheels Bo Carver. The great Matty Gomez back in studio. My good buddy Marabou.
He's here, live and in color.
That's right.
Working the, he's our tech guru, keeping us going. If we need more light, I can fix that.
What do you think? You think we need a little bit more?
We could probably I could put a thing up. If you wanted me to do it, I could do it real quick.
Put a light up?
You want to take over the show? Or do I need to, hold your hand the rest of the way?
Oh, we're going to go there? I thought we were past the courting stage. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, the show that helps you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We are here to help. Phone lines are open, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. A lot to cover in the news. One thing is God bless Donald Trump. And I know you're going to win your appeal. I know you're going to be the next president of the United States and turn this country around, and shame on everybody for everything they've done to you. You figure 3 years of his presidency, out of the 4, they were trying to impeach him. And now this just shows you, if an outsider comes in to do good for the country and disturb the swamp, they're going to punish you or try to punish you. And so we're praying for him and his family. I'm praying he will be our next president and get this turned around, get the auto industry where it needs to be, because the auto industry is the largest employer in the world. And I had a guy the other day said, I disagree, it's the medical industry. I said, it's not even close. Not even close, the amount of people that it takes to make the auto industry go round. And when you think about it, all of the parts suppliers, all the tire suppliers, all the electronic suppliers, all the chip suppliers, rubber and glass and polymers, and there's so much involved. And then when you think about all the manufacturers and all the cars, all the shippers, the insurance department, the marketing departments, it's not even close what it takes for the auto industry to survive. And when you got a bunch of wackadoodle-doos up there in Washington that have no idea, because most of them probably never had a real job, they're just professional politicians, then the industry gets penalized because they have nothing to do. They actually do, and that's trying to figure out how to get our debt down. But instead, they'd rather get involved in our personal lives and our business lives where they have no business, no knowledge of. Now, I know that if... what's her name? Crazy Cortez debacle. She could understand the bartending part of things. I get it. But for the rest of them, I don't know what they did previously. Probably nothing. They're just professional politicians, and we need to leave the auto industry alone and let it continue to grow and survive, because we employ the most people out of any industry. So vote in November. Vote. And don't vote because of what people say. Vote because of what people do. And I always tell you, I had coaches that used to scream and curse, call us everything in the world. But we played in a lot of championships. We played in, I'd take it down just a notch on that brightness. There you go. We didn't like what they said. We didn't like the way they cursed. We didn't like the locker room butt-chewing sessions. But the end result was win. And so everybody needs to put their big boy pants on and understand it's okay for people to say things that may get you fired up or may get your blood going. But as long as it works in the long run, that's all that matters. So stop with, I can't believe they said this, or that's not professional, that's not presidential-like. Forget all that. It's about getting to the meat and potatoes, going back to the block and tackle, and turning a country around. Vote, vote, vote November. And for me, being part of the auto industry for 36 years, we need to make sure this thing is always, always surviving and doing well. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. A lot going on in the auto industry, and there's a big wave coming. I saw this, and I was looking back a couple of years ago, and I found some notes from some old shows. I keep a lot of my pads, and I go back. And 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I had predicted what was going to happen in the next 4 to 5 years, and it's happening. And we're going to be covering that coming up, as well as what's going on with the used car market. A lot of people still contacting me. You know, graduations, I think, finishing up this week. And moms and dads are just blown away. Some of them are devastated what pre-owned cars go for. And I said, well, here's the thing. Look at what new cars are selling for. As long as new cars keep going up, the used cars have to go up. Just the way it works. If they're building $30,000 vehicles on average, then you find $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 cars on average. Because when you look at residuals and you figure half the value after 4 years, but then when you get up into the 40,000s, on average $46,000 for a vehicle, what's half that? 23,000 is what an average used car is selling for. Actually, it's a little bit higher. The average used car sold last month was almost $27,000. With that being said, prices are not coming down. So I will tell the moms and dads, if you have that kiddo in high school, start saving now if you plan on buying them a car when they go to graduate. Because those cars they're not going to be any cheaper in 4 years. I think there's going to be a really good stabilization that has to occur sooner than later on the pricing of the vehicles. Because the last thing that we want to do is see 96-month financing standard. And so the 72-month has gone through the roof. The 84 months is picking up. 96.
So what would have been a time frame for you to where somebody came in and said, we're going to do 96 months finance? what would you have done? Like, what era of time, if they had said that to you, you would have looked at them and cross-eyed on them?
I'd have just been laughing. I would have just said, I hope you have a bank that will do that, because I know of none.
96 months.
Yeah.
Well, pretty soon, the way everything's going, they may have to finance it like a home. Get a 30-year mortgage.
Well, the kicker is going to be, and a buddy of mine called me from California. He did 96-month finance and had to have a 750 IL. Had to have it. His interest rate was 13.98.
Ooh, on top of that?
So 96-month financing, plus 13.98 with an 805 Beacon score. And I went, dude, what's the deal? He goes,
just had to have it, huh?
I just, image is everything. I said, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what your image says. Your image says that you're dumb.
Yeah. If they saw what you did, they would forget that 750.
Yeah, don't keep your contract in the car in case, you're on a hot date and she looks at it and realizes how dumb you are, too. And I went, it's just amazing. But here's the thing. The manufacturers, and this is going to be coming up in a segment, where the pricing and what type of vehicles are coming and going doesn't make any sense to me, because the average income is not going up. People think just because they're saying, we want this minimum wage, we want that minimum wage. Do you see what's going on with that? They're downsizing. They're giving more duties to people that are making good money, and if they don't like it, they're going to replace them. This isn't a good balance. And so the auto industry needs to step in. If you think about it, and back up many years ago, the industry was kind of in a lull, and then they introduced Kia. And Kia came out with, it was Yugo first, a $49.95 car. Yeah, it was a horrible bucket of bolts, but they sold them. Then we had Geo and Metro, and these cars were coming in very, very, very cheap, and people were buying them up.
Where were they from? Geo and
Well, Geo was part of Chevrolet,
oh, okay.
and that was their micro mini cars that came
Was it
in.
manufactured here in the States?
No, they're all overseas.
Okay.
Japanese. And then you had Kia. Kia came in, and very inexpensive. They came out, I
Korean
remember,
vehicle, right?
and Hyundai, correct. And I remember my brother bought a Hyundai Scoop, little two-door car manual. But he got 180,000 miles out of it. I remember when he traded it with me. But Kia started having a lot of problems, so they went away. Hyundai stayed. Kia went back. Rebuild, tool and die, new engineering, new platform teams. They came back, and obviously look where Kia is now. And so they always had those medium pockets.
So when did they become part of Tata Motors? with
Always
Hyundai?
have been.
Oh, they'd always been that
Yeah.
way? Okay.
Yeah, and then Tata Motors grew because, Ford bought Jaguar,
Right.
and that was a total foobar. It looked like a Taurus with a few tweaks on it. I didn't never get what they were doing with Jaguar. I always loved Jaguar where you had the Jaguar on the hood, but the young kids were stealing all the hood emblems and making chains with them.
Making red in their necks.
Yeah, go figure. And, things started to change, but they always had those good price points. And now you only have a few manufacturers
1 minute.
that have extremely good price points for brand new automobiles. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. We're going to take a break, introduce you some great sponsors here on the Automotive Edge radio show on 1190 KFXR. Where else can they find us, Big Wheels?
Oh, you can find us a lot of places. Number one, listen to us on the radio, which you are right now, but then you can find us on the social media sites as we do the video and audio live stream on the Automotive Edge radio show Facebook page. Then we are on the YouTube. You can go to youtube.com and then search the Automotive Edge, or just go to YouTube and search the Automotive Edge radio show. And on LinkedIn, just added that, but you have to go to Kurt Chase on LinkedIn. So there's a lot of places to find us, and we'll share more about that as we get down the road.
Here we go. Let's take a quick break and meet some great sponsors. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I'm sitting there looking around going, what is that on the screen? But it's the StreamYard. See that up on the corner?
Yeah.
I'm looking around going, what is that on the wall?
Purple Haze loves that. She likes that little duck. I guess it's a duck. Looks like a duck. We're quacking. So are we good with the light, or you think?
Yeah, the light's a lot better.
Could we turn it down a little bit? Would it even be?
It
better?
could go down if you guys are getting your eyes a little.
Yeah, I'll do it. You tell me when it's better. It's a little bright.
Okay.
I think you guys look good. It's just a matter of your preference, how you feel.
Yeah, I think you can bring it down just a little bit and be all right. There you go.
Leave it there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really good.
real
Yeah.
I look pretty. I'm a pretty man. I don't know how many people agree with that.
Well, I'll make my decision on my check.
Good morning, Chris. And
Ty Gentman was on here. Gerald
he?
Wade.
Good morning, Cindy. Cindy, we are booked and ready to roll. I'm not going to be announcing it on the radio because it's for the Nimitz High School graduates.
And Beaumont High School will be representing
Yeah, and then we,
the Royal Purple.
we have a what do you call it when you bring somebody in that's not really part of it, but you give them the title?
What do you call that, Carver? What would you call that? Hey.
Honorary member.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
Bo will be an honorary member of the class of 78.
So what was the mascot?
The Viking.
I'm going to get me a big Viking
The
shirt.
Nimitz Viking.
I'm going to go there with a big Viking
We had a guy
shirt.
named Charlie Hodebeck that used to wear the Viking outfit on the sideline.
Oh, yeah?
And then Anthony Parma, who joins in, he used to do they called him Vodon. And he flipped up and down the field, did all the somersaults and everything. He used to come to our house and go to the top of the stairs and tumble all the way down. My mom would come running out, Anthony, and he'd just pop up.
Well, he's shown some stuff on, Facebook about him climbing the walls.
Yeah, he would get a running start down the hallway and run up the wall and down.
That's pretty
before kids were even doing it on videos. But he was quite the tumbler.
Cindy says there's 25 confirmed today.
Cool. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have Cindy sing and do the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
So her husband's going to play guitar. And
We should
Cindy's
do
gonna do the
karaoke.
singing. Oh, buddy, don't do that.
You
Let me
always
tell-
wanted to do
we
that.
did the last
no?
show, and what did Cindy do? Right when we got off air, what did Cindy do?
She started playing some old.
No, she grabbed the microphone and just took
Oh,
over.
she
All right,
did.
let's get everybody up here.
So you're asking me not to bring the sound system?
Oh, Cindy's going to take over regardless. I told her yesterday, I said, hey, I'm going to grab a bottle of bourbon and head over. She's on vacation. And she goes, oh, I've never drank bourbon. I said, well, there's a good time to start. And then she said after she watched the verdicts with Donald Trump, maybe that bottle of bourbon sounded pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I would save it for election time because it's going to be more pop that time. Pretty sure of it. Last week I had a question about what if the Dallas AM radio station from iHeartRadio had 888 with the 787 in the middle and then the radio station name with the letters. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. They used to have 214 and 817.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day,
And 817 was long distance.
well,
Or calling either one.
if you called 817 to 214, it was,
Right.
and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they had the two prefixes, because if you were calling the radio station, didn't want to call on distance, you could call if you lived in 817, you could call the
It
817
was called a metro number.
call the 817 and you could get it. And then you could go, if you lived in 214, you'd dial the 214 and get it without long distance.
Yours was BR7608.
Mine was BR549.
I know what that one is. That was not yours.
Wilson Collins says, good morning, guys. What's up
What's
there, my
up, brother? Tip the hat to Big Wheels Body Shop.
Next song, amen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got caught up there.
Yeah, we're playing.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with disco in the morning. Yesterday, I got all my chores done. My wife signed off on it, and I sat down and I watched the Bee Gees tour
Oh, wow.
when Andy Gibb was with them.
Wow.
Those girls were passing out like when the Beatles hit town. Goodness gracious.
Well, there was a couple pretty boys in there, and there was a couple pretty ugly ones.
Yeah. Oh, Andy,
I don't know how that
I
went.
forgot that he married or was dating whatever Victoria
Principal, I
from
know.
Dallas.
Well, they say that he was so heartbroken. I think he committed suicide.
He did.
Over it. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but there was rumors that was the situation. But I don't understand the suicide issue, especially when you're in places like he's at. You know.
When you're that pretty, I mean, Victoria, they're
money?
a dime a dozen.
Oh, I know. But I don't know. I don't get it.
I think the Bee Gees were one of the coolest bands.
Oh,
ever.
no doubt.
All the music they didn't write a bad song.
Well, they performed them fantastic.
Yep. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. We're going to help you with all your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number, and let me step in and help. It's just that simple. And while we're talking about sponsors, we got one tuned in today, Will Sakala. And let me just tell you, everything that Will Sakala, the owner of Big Will's Body Shop, right there at 35 and Risinger Road, is posting about me and the Steelers is absolutely false.
So, did you notify Facebook that was false information?
I'm going to put Will in Facebook jail.
You know where they put it, that fake news, and then they have that blackout.
Yep.
All right.
So if you got that 3/4-ton truck or bigger, always rely on Big Will's Body Shop. When it comes to Pittsburgh Steelers, don't rely on Will Sakala. So what happened was I bought my Dallas Cowboy tickets to go to Pittsburgh to watch the game.
Right.
Well, you have to go and sign up with the Pittsburgh Steelers website to get the tickets.
Okay.
And so here's one of the Rooney families. Welcome to the Steelers.
I saw that.
All this
the
blown.
new members.
And they're sending me a text and email every day now. Hey, we're going to give you 10% off. I don't give you, if you give me 100% off, I ain't buying nothing. And it's so anyway.
Well, Will's just going to give it to you anyway.
Will decided to post that, and I was called a traitor, a loser, a turncoat, all because of Will. And so I had to post that. Will was making up, and no one was believing me. They're going, you're just still mad at Dak Prescott. Now you're a Steeler fan. I said, that will never happen.
Yeah, you're still mad at Dak and the Cowboys,
Yeah,
but
but
that doesn't mean you jumped on the Pittsburgh wagon either.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I love the guy just like a brother, and I'm telling you, I got to sit in on a truck show the other day for about a half an hour, and I was letting everybody know that I had no idea what the cost of operating a truck is, and the downtime is financially incredible. I mean, I had no idea. You want to get it done right. You want to get it done with the right people and someone that's going to stand behind it. That's Big Wheels Body Shop, 35 in Risinga Road. You just head west down about a mile and a half there on the right-hand side. And how you know you have somebody that is good as what they do. I remember Will Sakala was done with this guy's truck and almost done with it. And he brought him back out and he goes, hey, before I put this together, I would not do it this way. And the guy goes, what do you mean? He goes, we're not talking about a lot of money. He said about a couple grand to do it the way I would do it, where you're going to have a good, secure product that's really going to work, and you're not coming back to me in a short amount of time spending money. And just the way he was talking to the guy and letting me know that it wasn't an upsell.
Right.
He wasn't trying to make more money. He wanted to do it the Big Wheels way.
Right.
And the guy goes, well, I don't really have the money. He goes, we'll work it out. Will wanted to make sure that truck left the way it should leave. And so I don't know if he floated him the money or worked out. I don't know, but just listening to his heart telling this guy, let's do it the right way. You know, when can you pay me? What does this look like? I mean, and the guy was just ecstatic when he left.
Well, and the work is so unbelievable that some of those jobs look better than they came back when bottom new.
Yep.
And
The
that's
place, Big Wheels Body Shop, online, bigwheelsbodyshop.com, 3/4 ton or bigger. There's not a better place than Big Wheels Body Shop. And you want to go by there here in a couple of weeks. We're going to be taking pictures because I told Will payback is going to be a booger. And that place may be totally different when he pulls up to come to work one day.
Going to have a big cowboy sign out
It's
front?
going to look completely different.
Big banner.
Oh. The neighbors are going to think he changed teams when I get done. Because I told him, it's always funny till someone dies. And I'm going all out.
I'm sure he's afraid to drive his bus, his motorhome there because everybody think he was switched. It's the colors of the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's all right. When you have a brother from another mother, you get to play hard.
Well, I want to go put a star on the side.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. So let's talk about what's going on in the auto industry as far as cars. And I don't understand why the auto industry, why these manufacturers are not building more cars. And let me just tell you, the younger generation, they don't want minivans. They can't afford $46,000 pickup trucks. They're not wanting SUVs. That's not first on their list. So they're having to settle for whatever transportation they can afford. And that's why I tell people, Nissan, you can get a brand new Nissan Sentra right at 20 grand. Brand spanking new 2024. Go down there and see Justin Crane at Burleson Nissan. Very few cars like that. And when you look at, I was going through the list of all the different cars that started and was doing so well. And let's talk about the top selling cars of all time. And
Toyota Camry.
Okay, that's number one by far. Do you have another one?
Honda Accord.
That would be number two.
I'm going to say the Chevy Malibu.
Very good.
3 for
You're
3.
rocking.
Yeah, drop mic. Got
Okay.
go.
This is all time, so you can go back to the 70s.
Let's see. I would think maybe.
Well, let's start.
Civic?
70.
Honda Civic?
No.
Okay.
78 to 81 was the Oldsmobile Cutlass.
Oh, beautiful car.
Couldn't sell enough of them. 1982, Ford introduced the Ford Escort. off the hook. That's when I started in the car business. And no, it was a little bit later when I started. Ford had just come out with the Ford Escort. You know, they had the Ford Pinto.
Right.
Then they went to the Ford Escort. Then next was the Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme.
Beautiful car.
Yeah, they added the Landau roof and upgraded the
My
interior.
brother had one.
Then in 1984, the Chevy Cavalier, which was not a good car, but the price point and the fact that it was a GM product and it looked good, off the charts.
Right.
Next, and a lot of people don't remember this, my brother had one, the Chevy Celebrity.
I don't even remember that.
And it was like a mini Cutlass but very rounded off, 4-door. And it had those really cool little flags on the back of it. Never figured out why they did that, but anyway. Then back again in 1987 to 88, the Ford Escort became number one. Then in 89, 91, which I was with Honda at this time, the Honda Accord, and it was storming Norman. As fast as Honda Accords were showing up on our lot, they were gone. And I remember back then it was the very odd colors. They had this off-colored green that they shared that color with the Honda Prelude and a few other cars. It was just as fast as they were coming in, they were a sign. They were really doing well. And it's funny, when Honda was coming into town, nobody really wanted it. And I was with Mr. Eagle, Big Bird, not his son John, who took over all the dealerships. Honda gave him his first franchise for $2,600 on Lemon Avenue.
Boy.
I said, "Look, $2,600 will give you a franchise." He said, "Okay, I'll give it a shot."
Give it a shot.
Yeah, and the rest was history. In 1992 to 1996, the Ford Taurus took over.
That was
the market.
a nice car.
It was
Very nice car.
And so you had your LX model, and then you had there was a level above it, and then they came out with the Taurus SHO for super high output. And this SHO was a manual transmission, front wheel drive, and you could smoke the tires on this thing.
I didn't know that.
And it just killed it. And so every time an SHO came in, where they all were coming in black, everything was being pre-sold. And, we didn't mark over sticker because there was always a lot of markup in the car. But every SHO that came in, boom, 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 we sold them. We'll finish out this list and talk about what's going on. Let's move 40 years forward here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. And follow us, Bo.
Follow us on YouTube. You go to YouTube and then search the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Like and subscribe. That'll help us. And then LinkedIn, you search it on Kurt Chase's page or site. And then also on the Automotive Edge Radio Show Facebook page, my personal page, Bo Carver, and Kurt Chase's personal page. So join us.
Share and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that and get more awareness about there is a guy out here to help you with your automotive needs. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Nice. Good job, Matty. Did you kill them all?
Excuse me?
Thanks, everybody, for being a part of our broadcast today here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Like we were saying before, if you wouldn't mind, even though you maybe follow us on the Facebook page, if you wouldn't mind going to YouTube and subscribing to the Automotive Edge Radio Show channel. Just it'll ask you to little button there says subscribe. Hit that. It'll help boost the kind of the rating, so it'll kind of help move it up the ladder a little bit. And then you can also share those YouTubes to a lot of different places that you can't share Facebook feeds. So that'll help us, and it'll help people to know what we do as Kurt can help them with their automotive needs. So be sure and do that for us. And I want to invite you out. We'll do this back on the radio when we come back, but the Big Wheels Bo is playing music tonight. The Purple Bass is coming back out in honor of Kurt Chase. It'll be nice and shiny, playing in Aledo at the Summer Blast. We do 2 shows, 6:30 and 8:30. So if you get a chance, that's a big shindig that they're having. Their Alito Summer Blast. I'll get it out. And you can Google the location by just Googling the Alito Summer Blast 2024. It's got all the data you need to know about that. So hope you'll come out and check out Big Will's bow on the Big Will's purple bass.
I'll be there.
The Clint Moody Band. Graham Knox Mirabo Carver will be there.
Why is this always the full name with you on the radio? Once we get to the radio, I'm addressed by the full name. But before that, it's just Graham around the house. Then I turn into a superstar, I guess, once he addresses me here. But
That's right.
I'll be there, entertaining the people in the crowd, I guess.
Yes.
Giving out dances.
He's our
and
security.
such.
Graham's going to be our security.
Beautiful.
Tonight. Kicks off at 6:30. They open at 6, but we'll start playing at 6:30 and then do a show, come back at 8:30, do another one.
I was going to go to Alito because I thought that's where the crazy gun dealer was. But he's in Alvarado.
Right, correct.
Which is not that far south of Burleson.
No, it's a little
about
different.
an hour from here.
Right. But Alito's about, not even, I don't think, but about 45 minutes from here.
Oh, yeah. It's not that far because when I head out to Will's place, you just take that, forgot what the highway is, and you're in Alito. It's where my nephew lives.
35W, straight down.
Yep.
So come out and join us.
You need me, I guess I need to get with Clint about singing a little backup tonight.
Oh, come
Well,
on.
let's just surprise him. Just come on the stage with me.
Just walk up
grab
there.
the mic. So, ooh, like some, whatever. Some backup stuff.
Yeah, just cover
Some-
it.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Just ooh, wop,
Just
ooh,
start
wop,
doing it.
doo, bada, diddy.
All of a sudden, this big old boy starts coming on the stage, and I'm running around with the microphone.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
Catch me if you can. You know, Clint would love it.
I know, but it was just so funny. Like, we didn't get your cowbell. Boy, and start the microphone.
walk up, hitting
I
it.
get right behind him. Oh, yeah. Okay, your best friends checking you out this morning.
Mr. Coker.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Gary.
The Royal Purple.
Hello, Van Maples. You have a good day
Yeah,
as well.
Van.
Dead Greg.
Yes, sir. Van's a good guy. Marine, retired Marine.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
You know, I remember when I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and went through Marine boot camp my junior year of high school, the summer of going into my senior year, and there was 5 buses from all 3 high schools. And boy, these guys were talking crap on the bus about Marines and how they were. They didn't know that on every bus was a Marine.
Oh.
And so we get to Fort Sill, and all of a sudden those 5 guys disappear. They come back. And I remember Corporal Potts, Sergeant Baez, and Sergeant Martin. And they came back out, and they were like,
cigarettes and cigars. Place your
you.
seat to the upper
It got ugly
Fasten your
quick.
seatbelt.
Luckily,
Please do not
there's a
try
few of
to
us that
exit
kept our
through the
mouths
exit
shut.
door.
We knew what we were in for.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back,
Do you have a list?
take a deep breath, and seek
Threw it
immediate
away,
help.
huh?
Now, here's your host of the
Yeah,
Automotive Edge radio show.
He's got him.
Eldorado Chevrolet.
Chase.
It's all in the same order.
Thanks so much for joining us. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Or go to theautomotiveedge.com. Click Ask Kurt and leave me your number. I'll call you right after the show. A lot of people called me this week upset about their car deals or questioning their car deals. In fact, there was one that bought a van. I told him not to buy a van. And now he's got a lot of problems. And he goes, what do I do? I said, look in your paperwork, and did you sign an as is?
Was this a pre-owned?
He looked
obviously?
at it, and he goes, I did. I said, do you know what that means? He said, well, the law says. I said, let me help you. Did you have an opportunity to get the van checked out? I did. And so the first guy said it was good. You still signed it, and you signed it as is. I said, yeah. I said, you have no way out. The title's clean, and you bought it. And he goes, you guys, and he started coming, no.
You guys are all alike.
You should have contacted me up front. So now he's going to be $3,800 in the toilet fixing this van. And I had a couple of van problems this last week, and I just keep telling him, be very, very careful what you're being told and what you're being sold, or you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I cannot help you once you take delivery, unless the van has been misrepresented as far as a salvage title, or the car's been wrecked,
or the wrong mileage listed, or
the odometer, whatever the case may be, then you have that opportunity. But when it comes to pre-owned, I can't tell everybody enough how to do your due diligence.
Well, let me just say this. We're on this radio show every Saturday morning from 8 to noon. The service is free that Kurt offers you to know before you go, or to know before you do. It's much easier to do what you're supposed to do before you do it, instead of calling him later saying, what do I do now?
Yep.
Now, you told this guy not to do it, one of the guys, but if you've done it and he did it, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, you're stuck like Chuck.
I would just recommend that you really listen to the advice, because
I kind of know what I'm talking about, just kind of.
I wonder if they listen to their doctors or their dentist, or if the doctor says, you might want to do this. I wonder if they go, whatever.
Yeah, they're going to Google it.
Whatever.
And do something else. Well, the Google
what
said
do you know,
not to.
doc? Or dentist or attorney. Attorney says, you should do. What does he know? They go to Kurt Chase. What does he know?
Yep.
So stop being that way. It's a free service. So just take advantage of it and utilize that to your advantage, and don't get caught in this position.
That's right. Hey, let's talk about a great sponsor where you don't have these problems, whether it's new or pre-owned. And that's El Dorado Chevrolet, 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year. 8 times. And it's not because they sell a ton of cars that they're Chevy Dealer of the Year. It's because how they treat their customers. Because when their customers get those surveys and they talk about them, they tell them how transparent, how easy, how well-mannered, how professional, and how knowledgeable they are. And you get it from the new Chevy dealership next door, Justin Griffin with the pre-owned. Right next to that, you have Tommy Melton with Mazda. All 3 places are the top in the business. It doesn't get any better. We don't get phone calls from El Dorado, people going, hey, Kurt, you're not going to believe. We just don't have those problems. And they've been a sponsor of the show going on 9 years. And there's a reason why. It's all relational. And with El Dorado Chevrolet and McKinney, 8-time Chevy Dealer of the Year, there's no doubt when you get there, whether you want to kick tires, test drive, learn about, see what all this looks like on paper, they'll take you through. So when you're ready, they're ready. Online all the time at ElDoradoChevy.com. That's ElDoradoChevy.com.
Do you think the Automotive Edge radio show could take credit for their 8 times in a row?
Yeah, I'm not going there.
So you've been with them for 9 years.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, here it comes.
Well, I'm not going there. I'm
going to call
going
Jason
there.
and tell him.
No, let's not
Jason,
do that.
here we go.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so we left off with the Ford Taurus, 1992 to 1996. It was like Storm and Norman when it came in, because if you look at the history of Ford, they released some products in that time. One of them was the Ford Probe, and I sold a ton of Ford Probe. We had the LX, and then we had the Turbo, and I've never seen so many problems. And it was the first Tiptronic transmission on an automobile, where you just push the button and it shifted through the gears. Boy, those things wound up in the shop all
Was that the main problem,
time.
the transmission?
It was. They were cool. They were out of the box. It was ahead of its time on the looks, especially the GT model. It was just a fabulous looking automobile. The colors were vibrant. People just took to them, and they did really, really well, but then they became very, very problematic and went away. And then you had the Thunderbird. Then you had the Thunderbird SC, which was a Super Coupe, which was a turbocharged. offered in a manual transmission.
Right.
Remember back then everybody was offering manuals, and
Right.
those were flying off the wall. And then they came out with the Ford Taurus, and it just took off. And then whoever decided to put the 24-valve dual overhead cam SHO model together, it boomed. Even if you could find one now, they're still worth a lot of money. I mean, that SHO is just still a fabulous car. And then jump into 97 to 2000, here comes Toyota Camry. Just rocking and rolling. The Camry came out, and it was the deal. And a lot of people took to it because they all believed that imports were 10 times better than domestic.
Right, I remember that era.
And then in 2001, Honda took the reins again. And then for the last 19 years, it's been the Toyota Camry. They have just been at a clip selling cars. In fact, 1 out of 3 Toyotas sold are Camrys.
That's insane.
It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. And so I went back and I was doing a little research on all the cars that have come and gone. And starting in 2010 is incredible. The Buick Regal, back in 2010, it was selling about 12,000 for the year. Now they're selling none. The Chrysler Sebring in 2010 sold almost 40,000. No longer. The Chevy Malibu.
Do you remember the Sebring had a convertible?
Oh, yeah.
That was a sweet little ride. I don't know if the car was really good.
A little problematic.
But I like the looks with that, especially with the convertible.
Yep, the Malibu, almost 200,000 in 2010. Currently over 130,000, and they're discontinuing.
Wow.
The Dodge Avenger, 50 grand, no longer. Ford Fusion. This is a car that I never understood why Ford did not continue to build and make better and keep themselves in the car slot. In 2010, they sold 220,000 of these. And the numbers started in 2015, they sold over 300,000. They're killing it. And then 2020, it went to 110, because they're announced, hey, we're phasing it out. So people don't understand it.
Genius. If it's really successful, let's just get rid of it.
Yeah, here's a Honda Accord, their biggest year, 2015, 355,000 cars sold. Hyundai Sonata, biggest year, 2015. And you look at 2015 all the way down, the sedans are just killing it. Hyundai Sonata, 213,000. The Kia Optima, 159,000. Mazda 6, 60,000. Altima. Why they're getting rid of the Altima, they start out in 2010 at 229,000, their biggest year. Here again, 2015 was a huge year for cars. 333,000 sold. Toyota Camry, 429,000 sold that year. And then you finished out with the Passat at 80,000 vehicles sold in 2015. And then things started changing. And we're going to talk about why and the direction it's going now coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Download the iHeartMedia app, and that way you can follow us anywhere at any time. And be sure, like Bo always says, share and like. And it's not we want the biggest kudos. We want people to know that you don't ever have to go alone when it comes to your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We got you covered. And it's the best free service out there. This isn't a sham wow promotion. It really is free. 214-787-1190. Quick break. Meet some great sponsors. We'll be right back.
So Gerald said that you sound like Mr. Sperry. Is he still on radio?
Oh, yeah.
The gardener. I kind of dig him sometimes.
KRLD.
Yeah, that's cool. I need help with my gardening, especially since I don't have one.
Huh?
I need help with my gardening, especially since I don't have one. I need somebody to come out and put one together. But great morning here. I'm not sure what the weather's going to call for. Kurt saying there might be a little rain around again. And, man, my property is like the New Orleans swamp. It is soaking wet. Soggy bottom boys.
You got you some of them big rubber boots?
I sure do. I have to have them. Can't even walk in my yard without them.
No, Ty, I have not. I'm going by there today to pick them up. And I saw the wheels on there that I don't like. There was a different set of wheels, and I am searching to find them. And then I'm going to go up there and see what they're going to negotiate on the car. So I like the slotted mags instead of the Kreger style, and I think I found a set in Oklahoma, and so I'm going to go look at the car today.
What year Prowler?
2000, early 2000. I have to look at what he sent me. Most of the ones that are out there are 2001 that you'll find. There's a bunch of 99s, 2000, but 2001 for whatever reason.
So what's drawing you to this?
I've always wanted an orange Prowler. I had drove a red one for a little while, a black one. Enjoyed them, and never had any issues. In fact, I was talking. My wife's boss said, "If you buy a Prowler, don't bring it here. We hate working on those." I'm like, I don't get it. You know, it's the motor they put in. It's an Intrepid motor. A lot of people don't remember the Intrepid.
Right.
You had the Intrepid, which was their. I mean, when the Intrepid came out, it was so far ahead of its time in design. So you had Intrepid with Dodge, and then with Chrysler, you had the Concorde. And they were so ahead of their time. If you Google Intrepid, it was a really cool car at the time. Well, they took that Intrepid motor, moved it over to the Prowler, designed this retro-looking car, and it sold. The purple, the black, and the red were off the hook, and the orange was the least produced. And I've always had a liking for that car because it's different. You know what it is coming down the road. Oh, yeah, it's coupe.
Okay.
You ever seen a Prowler?
I may have, but I haven't seen one. I mean, I don't remember what it looks like.
Oh, they're cool. They're really cool cars. And so, anyway.
Muscle car? Obviously.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's not?
I mean, you could make it.
Like, what kind of engine does it have?
It has that. Let's see here.
19 seconds.
Thank you. Oh, check that out.
That's the orange one.
Is it a convertible?
Yeah. They're all convertibles.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so it's got the Intrepid motor. You had a 3.3 and then a 3.8. The only problem with the car is that it's got a 11-gallon gas tank, but I got a guy that could put an 18-gallon on there without having to cut or mess anything up.
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Well, the heat is right around the corner, and it's going to take a toll on your car. Be proactive, not reactive. And the most important part of your car are tires. And Driver's Edge Auto Repair is in the tire business. You don't have to run around shopping for tires. Look it up online, bring in the ad, and let Driver's Edge take care of everything. Because a lot of the tire places only do tires. And at Driver's Edge Auto Repair, they do all the maintenance, replace transmissions, work on your motor, do all the standard maintenance, put on tire. They do it all. The place, you start at mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. Find a location nearest you. You got 22 of them here in the DFW area, and let them know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. They don't summarize your car. I just got 3 coupons the other day for $499 to summarize my car. And so I called the guy and I said, what if I don't need all of it? And he said, oh, well, it's just that one price for everything. I said, so you could possibly be taking good parts off and putting good parts on. He goes, well, we have to. We have to do everything on the list. And I went, well, that just doesn't work for me. At Driver's Edge Auto Repair, they don't do that. They'll say, hey, you need your radiator flushed. You need this. You need this. Hey, here in about 5,000 miles, which they told my son, you're going to need to clean your radiator out. It's a good time to flush it. So be active, proactive, not reactive, and something go wrong. I mean, one thing we can't ever determine is when we're going to have a blowout or run over a nail or whatever, but as far as keeping good oil, keeping all your fluids up to date, getting your battery checked, all this stuff, it's getting very expensive now to maintain a car. So do it the right way. Go to mydriversedge.com. That's mydriversedge.com. And for all the moms and dad buying pre-owned cars, you can call and make your appointment for the check it before you buy it program at Driver's Edge Auto Repair. You call them, said, hey, I'm buying this 2015 Chevy Malibu. I want to get it checked out. You make the appointment, $35 from headlight to tail light to go through the car and make sure that you're buying a good bucket of bolts. And then they'll print out what needs to be done. And then if you buy the car, you can use that to negotiate. And then you bring it back, and they're going to put a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on the work. The place, mydriversedge.com.
Can I tell them about the big show tonight? Is that okay?
I'm not doing a show tonight.
Yeah, you might be.
I'm going to get a cowbell.
Backup singer.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to invite you to come see myself, Big Wheels Bo Carver, playing with the Clinton Moody Band in Aledo at their Summer Blast 2024. We kick off at 6:30, and we play 2 shows, one at 6:30, one at 8:30. So to get the information, go Google Summer Blast 2024 in Aledo, and come out and see us. Have a good time, and we'll be kind of doing some good music, I think. Clint Moody's one of the super talented persons that I know, and we should have a good time, and so should you. So come out and see us.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. You know, one thing that I'm really concerned about is the direction that some of the manufacturers are going, and I am hoping and praying they come back with affordable cars. And all you have to do is give them some sex appeal. Make them sexy. Make them aggressive. Make them muscly. There are some great ways to come out with some cars, hybrid cars, and make them affordable for the next generation coming up. It's so simple to do. I don't get it. You think Nissan right now with their Nissan Sentra, which is a great automobile, you know, you can pick up a brand new Nissan Sentra around $20,000. And there's so many other ways to do it with some of the manufacturers where you continue to go all in on SUV, and we need cars. We need the next generation buying cars. And you know, I know they're buying up the used car because they do 3-to-1, and actually sometimes even more. The SARS this year, which is the sales annual adjusted rate, they're expecting around 15.3 million, but they're expecting about 46 million pre-owned being sold. I mean, just think about that, 3-to-1 on pre-owned versus new. What do we need to do to boost the new car market and then make more used cars affordable? Start building the $20,000, $22,000 cars that look cool. It's not hard to do. Get some young platform members on. Start designing these cars where the younger people are going out and going, I don't want an SUV, Mom. And you'll take what you can get. And I hear this all the time from the moms and dads going, you're not going to believe this. I went to buy my son a RAV4, and I went, how old is your son? 19. Well, you know, I guess, you know, walking, it would be better. Yeah. But if you're spending that kind of money, you have a lot of other cool options out there than an SUV for the kiddo. I haven't spoke to one kid that wanted a car, and they said, well, here, let me put my son on the phone. Let me put my daughter on the phone. I said, okay, what's important to you? Automatic transmission, light color, dark color. We get to talking. And I said, what do you think about an SUV over a car? I'm not driving what my mom drives. I'm not driving what my grandmother drives.
Do you ask them if they'd like to have a van?
You know, it's a given. And the manufacturers aren't listening. They're making decisions for the whole population that they need to start rethinking now. So this next generation will start buying new automobiles because the lenders want to lend them the money. They're coming out of college. A lot of these kids are grabbing great jobs. They want cool cars to drive, cool 2-doors and cool 4-doors. Actually, an 85-15 split, 80-20 split, 4-doors versus 2-doors. And all you got to do is put a little panache on it. Put a little flair,
30 seconds.
Put some coolness in it, and they will sell. Count on it. 214-787-1190 is top of the hour. Maddie's screaming in my ear.
Sergeant,
you know she's
Sergeant
had her second cup of coffee.
Sergeant Maddie.
So we're going to take a quick break, knock out the top of the hour, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
The great, honorable Christopher Gregory.
We're going to be at doing working his skeet shoot on June 22nd, live out there, and I'm not sure exactly what town it's in, but it's 820 and 377.
You know, it's so funny when you're around him. I'm sure a lot of people call him by his first name. I just can't do it. Do you ever call him by his first name?
No.
For me, it's always Judge Gregory.
I called him Christopher before he was elected.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, if
because I knew him before he was elected.
Yeah, when he was a police officer.
Yeah, I was pushing for him to get elected. That's how we met. And
I wonder what he was doing if he was sitting on the bench and one of the plaintiffs said, "Hey, Chris."
Oh, that could get you 90 days in jail.
Ooh-wee. Is that contempt?
I would think it probably could be. I mean, okay.
I'm sure he's going to give him a warning.
It doesn't have anything to do with being narcissistic or selfish. It's what the court respects.
Right. Oh, no doubt.
They're in a robe not because they feel like wearing a robe. I mean, it's about what that means to society and to the state and the country, that there's an honorable aspect to our judicial system.
Yeah.
So, that's why they don't come in wearing shorts and wife beater shirts behind the bench and smoking cigars and having a few beers. And
I wouldn't have anything to do with my
bailiff would handle it. There you go. Drag him out and beat him.
I could just see Judge Gregory just look at the bailiff, and what was going to happen. But you know what? It's really very euphoric, because when we went in there to see Judge Gregory, we were messing with the girls, and then they went back and told Judge Gregory there's a couple of knuckleheads out here, and he saw us and started laughing. But to go in the courtroom, and then he took us back to his chambers, I thought that was cool. Very cool. At my age, it's like, what's the big deal about going to a judge's chamber? Well, as long as you're not in trouble, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not when you're in the court hall. It's to my chambers, please. You may not come out.
Yeah, when he calls that sidebar a chambers meeting, it's usually not in your favor. So no. I don't know, but anyway, great guy. We're honored to be part of helping him to get reelected, and we have the gun shoot coming up. Yeah,
this is a clay shoot on June 22nd, and Judge, if you want to call in and talk about it, we're welcome to. Give us a buzz, and I'm sure you'll give them better details about it. I'm sure you got room for some more teams, because they do have teams. They have some giveaways. They have some drawings for some ammunition, weapons. So if you'd like to call in and talk about that, please do so. 787-1190, 214-787-1190.
It is raining out there.
Already?
Isn't it rain?
Is it raining, Carter?
Yeah. Rain's coming down. Yeah, it's, here's the thing. Judge Gregory, I've never really paid attention a whole lot what goes on with the judges and the courtrooms and everything. But I am impressed with how transparent he is and how he does the videos and the post of how many cases, how many have been cleaned up, what the docket looks like, how his courtroom is rocking and rolling and getting stuff done. And that's what you elected him for. All the way down to how long it takes for him to answer the phone. Yeah. Down to that. Isn't that pretty cool? That's real cool. I mean, that's someone that didn't put on the robe for ego. He's doing it to serve the people. Well, and the person he replaced, it's night and day. Yeah. And so also I'd like to say a congratulations to Andy Hopper, who replaced Lynn Stuckey in the House District 64 up there in the Decatur, kind of around this area too. And Lynn Stuckey's been there a long time, and he needed to go. I considered, a lot of people thought he was a rhino. And Andy came in and took it over, and congratulations, I was backing him. I couldn't vote. We used to be in that district, but they redistricted and we got out of it. But congratulations to him. He won a runoff against Lynn Stuckey. So good deal. Happy to see that. Good morning, Carol Coomer from no telling where she is, Waikiki Beach or Sydney, Australia, or Paris, France. Today, no telling where she is today. Oh. My sweet friend Carol. You think Coomer. She'll be there on the 25th? She wasn't part of our class. Oh, she wasn't. No, but Carol, I gave Johnny a hello. He just took and shaved 2.5 minutes off his triathlon, and you wouldn't believe the shape he's in. It's 74. Absolutely incredible. And he sent me some pictures with him and his lovely girlfriend Susan, and man, is he jacked for his size. And he showed me in his garage, he's got these hooks, and he gets on them hooks and goes all the way around the garage holding himself up. Oh, like a going from one to the next? And he's got this rope on this tree, and then he's throwing these spears, and he's doing all this running, and Yeah, I was.
That ain't nothing. I can do that.
Oh, backwards. Yeah, it was pretty impressive to see. But anyway, I told him that you said hello.
She says, good morning.
Yep, more rain. That's what we need.
1 minute.
Well, I tell you one thing. That's not what I need. We're really, it's crazy, dude.
Oh, look, the ducks are out. I wonder where her boyfriend is.
Uh-oh.
He's somewhere.
30 seconds.
Yeah, they're in our pool all the time.
Really?
Yep. I don't know who they think they are, but they get in that pool all the time.
Did you invite them?
No, but my neighbor said that they have been in that pool
A lot.
hooking up every summer.
It's that
15 seconds.
That time of the year.
I don't know why they think they can, skinny dip in my pool.
Well, that pool's kind of sexy out there.
You
I
know.
guess that gets them kind of round up.
I can't believe
They're
it.
waiting for you to get the hot tub to go to.
You know what? She was in our yard the other day, and I started walking towards him, and boy, that male came at me. And I was like, wow. And then...
Is it a mallard?
Uh-huh.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. If you got any questions about any make or model, my thoughts, or where to go, who to see, what to do. If you want to know the value of your trade-in, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, scroll down, and there's your trade form. And let us bid it. The numbers are dropping. I will tell you that. The inventory is going up. I think there's a little under 3 million cars available for sale. And what does that do? Well, it drives down the price of the trade-in.
We have Harmon on hold.
When we didn't have inventory, the prices went up on the trade-in, almost 21%, and now they're going down because the inventory is going up. So before it really goes up, and you want to know the value of that vehicle, but some it's not affecting at all. Good price cars, it doesn't matter what's going on in the industry. They're bringing a lot of money right now. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt. You can leave me a message or get your car appraised. This segment of the show is brought to you by Freeman Toyota, located on the affordable side of the Metroplex, right there at 820 and 183. I was just over there 3 days ago to see BJ and Jerry and the staff, and I walked in. I'm talking to all the salespeople. And Freeman Toyota is on fire. Why? Because Dane Miner is the general manager, and I've known him for almost 40 years. He operates the way a dealership should operate, and that is whether it's today, tomorrow, next month, next year, they're going to service you the same standard. And when you buy a new car from Freeman Toyota, they're going to give you 2 free years of Toyota Care. So you make your car payment, you pay for your gasoline, and bring it to them. They're going to take care of the maintenance for 2 years. No question asked. And then they have some bonus service programs for buying from Freeman Toyota that they add to that. The place, 183 and 820. You can find them online all the time at freemantoyota.com. That's freemantoyota.com. Joining us on the Automotive Edge hotline, we have our good friend Harmon Robinson. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Mr. Chase. How are you?
Greatest day of my life. How are you?
I can't complain. Having no trouble with my PC this morning, but we're getting through to it.
You know, we can't complain anymore because nobody really cares when we complain, do they?
I know. You can complain and complain, but nobody's listening.
I hear you. So I know you don't have a crystal ball. And Harmon, before I start asking some questions, because I got a few questions from the listeners that I told them you would be on one of my posts. Talk about who you are, how they can get in touch with you, and what you actually do.
Well, my name's Harmon Robinson. I'm a local real estate agent here in North Texas. And my phone number to reach me is 214-674-8388. That's 214-674-8388. My email is hwr 1945@yahoo.com. That's HWR. That's my initials. 1945. That's my year of birth at yahoo.com.
There we go. And
And,
you can also find him on the Automotive Edge sponsor page, and you'll see his pretty face there on the picture. Harmon, I'm getting some questions from a lot of people, and I don't know the answer. My son doesn't have an answer, and he's a mortgage broker. What is your crystal ball telling you as far as finance rates? Because there's a lot of people that did the 3-year program, which, each year the rate goes up, and now they've hit that 3-year, and they're paying a fortune in rate. What's your prediction going forward for people that could be in trouble, are not looking real good because they did, what is it called when you do the stair-step interest rate?
Oh, you're talking about the adjustable rate mortgages?
Yeah, so they have the adjustable rate mortgages. What are you thinking future-wise for them that think they may not have any hope and they may be underwater or maybe losing their home? Because where they're at now, everybody was hoping that the feds were going to dump the rate first quarter, maybe second quarter, but the inflation is still so high they're not. What do you have to say to those folks?
Well, actually, if you've got a low rate from the last 6 years, say 2.5 to 3.5%, I would just keep it right now. I wouldn't worry about selling it unless you're in trouble financially. Then you've got other issues you've got to look at. But interest rates generally don't worry about selling. Interest rates usually don't really keep people from buying, Kurt. The story here is if you buy the real estate, you pay a little higher rate, your rate of inflation and appreciation of real estate is going to far outperform the changes in interest rate. So it just depends on your individual situation. But, when you get into a position where you're getting behind and you can't make that payment, then you need to contact somebody that can help you out and give you some other options. I'm particularly one person that does that.
If you go to the website, theautomotiveedge.com, we have Harmon Robinson on there. I've known Harmon for over 20 years. He used to be the used car manager where I used to manage the dealership when we both worked for Jim McNabb. So I know Harmon, and I know his heart. I actually fell in love with horses after I met my best friend Diego, and got to hang out with, I believe, a Peruvian Paso. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yep, and walked into the stall, and his wife was going, get him out of there. Diego's going to kill him.
Diego.
And you got to tell the listeners, I became the horse whisperer that day.
That's right. And he's talking to you right now from the grave.
Talking to him.
That's right. So here's the other question one of the other questions that I have, Harmon. And the reason we bring Harmon on is, the biggest purchase in your life is going to be your home. The second is going to be your car. So where you're parking your car is number one. So we want to make sure you had somebody really good on your side that I believe in, that I know you can believe and trust in. There was a program, and I got about a dozen emails on this going, hey, could you ask Harmon about, there's a program out there now where you can assume the people's, the seller's home at their current rate that they have when they financed their home years ago.
That's true. And, on VA and on FHA loans, you've been able to do that forever.
Oh, really?
And the only criteria here, Kurt, is that you have to have it 2-year-old loan. Before that, they have to go in and they'll have to approve you and go through that process. But after 2 years, yes, those loans are assumable, and which makes it real easy if you have a low equity. People can come in and pick up that equity and just assume your loan and take over your payments.
So that's nothing new, but I'm sure you got to have stellar credit and, the whole 9 yards to get into that. But is that something new or something that's been going on?
They'll definitely check your credit on that. But the new part of it is on assumable loans. They have now come up with a program on FHA to where if you're a first-time buyer, you have good credit worthiness, you can go in with zero down now and put that 97% loan in effect and take that 3% loan that that 3% amount that you generally put down. They'll tack it on the back end of the note, and that thing is forgivable if you make your payments over a reasonable period of time. Good.
Well, wait a minute. So you're saying good credit, never owned a home before, first-time buyer, they'll move to 3% to the back of the note. You pay on it so long, they forgive that 3%.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, see, there's something I didn't know.
How about that?
I've never even heard of it. This is a reason why you want to reach out to Harmon and get details. And same thing in the auto industry. Know before you go. We prep you up on how to buy a car, where to go, who to see. We appraise your car. We get everything in line. So when you start the process, you're one up on what's going on.
You're in great hands too.
Right.
That's the other thing is that you're not only in moving in the right direction, but you've got people, Kurt, Harmon, with you to support you at any step of the way.
Yep.
So. And
the other thing too, Harmon, is we got a few phone calls going. What's the process? There's a few people out there that they're either their mom or dad has passed away. Mom can't afford the note. Now she's been reaching out to people, and they're all saying, do the reverse mortgage, go ahead and sell, take all that equity, and go live in an apartment. I mean, I guess there's a lot of options out there for the people. But my heart tells me until Harmon Robinson actually sits face to face and find out what's going on, don't make a move that you might regret.
Exactly. It's just like if you're in a financial legal situation, you want to make a move until you talk to your attorney. They're the ones that specialize in that area, and I specialize in pre-foreclosures and giving you options before you get into that situation. So, yes, you're right. You need to contact me or contact anybody that may have some legal experience in that area, and they can help you out a lot. There's a lot of options that you do have to you. You just don't know what they are because they don't give you those options when you contact your lender.
That's right. The lender, they'd rather just take it from you and have a whole bunch of equity and make a whole bunch of money and resell the vehicle. Kind of like on repossessions. There's people that have so much equity and they just let the bank come and take it. You have lease returns. This last couple of years, on the average lease return, they have $4,000 worth of equity, things we've never seen before, and they're just turning the car in. And so before you hand the keys over, go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on the sponsor page, and there's Harmon, and start your conversation now. I mean, a lot of us, Harmon, we can kind of look ahead and go, wait a minute, I'm fixing to get behind. I could be in trouble. That's when they need to contact you.
You're exactly right, Kurt. And like you say on your program, know before you go. And you know what? I've adopted the same thing.
There you go. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, sponsor page. There's Harmon Robinson. Buddy, we appreciate you calling in, and we hope all the listeners that are in whatever situation, good or bad, you're talking to Harmon Robinson on the sponsor page at theautomotiveedge.com. We got to go to break, Harmon. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Good deal. Take care, Kurt. Bo, you too.
You too, buddy.
All right. 214-787-1190. Quick break. More car talk coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Download that app. You can follow us anywhere. We'll be right back.
We've got Charlie Davis. Says, good morning, Kurt and Bo out there. I guess he's in Lubbock. He could be anywhere, though, right? When he travels regular route.
Hello, Charlie Davis. Huh?
Does he have a regular place he goes? Just regular, or he goes to a lot of places?
In his truck?
Yeah.
Albuquerque and back.
Oh, that's his run? Okay. I should.
Oh, this is a Maddie song right here.
Yes, it is.
I guarantee you she's dancing in the studio right now.
Maddie, you know how to dance?
I am not.
Yes, you are. It's okay. You don't have to be a closet dancer, Maddie.
I'm singing, but I'm not dancing.
Come on, you got the hands going over your head. And
do a little video.
Come on, Maddie, work with me. I'm doing it. Let's go.
Little video and send it to us. Wade said he'll be right back. It's kind of like us. Taking a break.
Yeah, I believe, Charlie, if I'm right, you run from here to Albuquerque and back, and he's got to do it in 11 hours. So he's got to drive to Albuquerque, load that truck with frozen seafood, and get back to Texas before they shut his truck down.
That's pretty crazy. Well, that's the law now.
Yep.
Making sure that those guys don't fall asleep on you. Of course, somebody posted the other day on the social media site that they were driving down the road and couldn't see a driver in an 18-wheel truck. Is that still? Is that
Say it again.
They said, now I'm glad I've thought about this and we're talking about, they said on the social media site that they were driving down the highway and looked over at an 18-wheeler and there was nobody driving it.
Could have been.
Is that a fact?
Could have been.
Would there be a person in the vehicle?
There should have been. Right now, they don't have 100% driverless.
Well, they said that there was nobody in the driver's seat.
Well, there could have been somebody in the passenger seat.
She didn't say that.
Yeah. But Highway 10, which we know is,
Beaumont to Houston and all that.
Yeah, coming across, starting, I don't know what it is, coming out of California, going all the way across.
Oh.
That's been the number one highway tested for
has it?
driverless, trucks and stuff.
And?
Well, California just shut all theirs down.
They have no electricity.
It's, did you saw that article that I sent you? About the guy talking about electrification, what it actually was.
Yes.
Isn't that scary?
Pretty scary. Yeah.
Because there's that movie out with.
We talked about that with those Teslas
Yeah.
got taken over and slammed into each other, or chasing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a deal. No one has said what happened, but it was up in Seattle that all the autonomous cars all got caught up in the roundabout. And it stopped everything. And so they went, how did it happen? I said, if you don't think for 1 minute somebody hacked in and took over that game and made it a game, you were highly mistaken. Because guess what? None of them hit each other, but they bundled them up right there in the roundabout. Now, and I don't care what anyone, conspiracy theory, whatever you might think, somebody was involved in that whole deal. They did not show up all in one spot and not wreck just on their own. I got to tell you, it's not as though those cars
can't be hacked.
Yeah. And it's a matter of time
before somebody does it and does a bad thing with it.
That someone's going to, you just figure that those trucks loaded. Charlie, what is the weight on a fully loaded 18-wheeler? When you're loaded down, truck, cargo, everything, what is the weight on that thing? I mean, it's got to be over 50,000 pounds.
I got one for you. It's 80,000.
80,000.
80,000. Cannot exceed 80,000 pounds.
There was
45.
See, Judge Gregory, there was some 9-year-old kid laughing in the basement. No doubt about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Johnny, it's time for dinner. I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, I got a roundabout going.
What are you doing? I'm playing this game called Roundabout.
Yeah, it's funny. Charlie says, yeah, he's in Lubbock. Did y'all get those bad storms? Yeah, we've had some.
Yeah.
It's been bad up a little north of my area. Had a tornado hit Valley View, and there's been some rough storms.
Why is it that 80% of the damage that was done to trailer parks?
5 seconds.
I don't know.
I don't get it where they're showing these.
Somebody talked about the fact that the vacuum of those things kind of suck.
Yeah, but the area that it travels through, they were showing, this guy was doing a report on how many trailer homes were destroyed this last 2 weeks. And that versus houses, it wasn't even close.
Right.
I'm going, wow. 214-787-1190 is the number. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show, the show that helps you with all your automotive needs. This segment of the show is brought to you by Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills, and they are locked and loaded with Hondas. Some of the hard to get, believe it or not, that new Honda Odyssey is off the hook. And a lot of families have adopted travel since COVID, going, hey, this wasn't a bad thing, getting out and checking out the United States, and there's so much to see. And they're buying them. But they have them in stock. The new Honda Ridgeline in stock, and some of the hard-to-get Civic hybrids and Honda hybrids, they've got them. And they've got great lease programs. From sales to service, for your next Honda, make it Norm Reeves Honda Superstore, North Richland Hills. I know the staff, I know the GM, I know the service manager well, and they take care of business. So shop, buy, lease, and service your car all at one place, 820 and 26 in North Richland Hills. Make your appointment online at normreeveshondanrh.com. That's normreeveshondanrh.com.
Well, we were talking off air on the radio about driverless vehicles and how what was going to be happening. And you brought up the fact that wait till somebody gets a hold of one of the and Charlie Davis said you had an 80,000 pound vehicle.
Boy, just think what an 80,000 pound vehicle would do when someone took it over.
A lot of damage.
And you think about it. Look how they hack into these games and do the. When you told me about swatting, do you know what's still going on? These idiots are still.
But
and there was somebody,
them.
not a congressman, a representative, somebody in the political scene. They swatted the house, and man, he was in the living room, and boom, through the front door, here they came, and his kid was upstairs playing a video game and swatted this family. And if you don't know what swatting is, tell them what it is.
You know what it is, Graham? Wants you to tell?
Yeah, so swatting basically, it's typically done on some sort of streaming platform, but you can do it just because you are ill-intentioned and there's someone that you really just want to mess over. And what they do is they call in and they report a bomb threat or a kidnapping hostage sort of situation. And then, of course, being the local authority, the SWAT team comes in and tries to clear them out.
Well, it's coming from an unknown or
it's like an anonymous person who makes a fake
and it's not
claim.
Traceable.
And it's normally done with some sort of, they normally, encrypt their connection in some way, and so you can't really figure out where the phone call came from, and they just call in and say, hey, there's someone with a bomb across the road, and yada yada yada, and the person is 1,000 miles away from that person and just wants to mess up their day.
They've even said that they're them. I'm in the house.
Yeah, I've
got a gun to my sister's head and blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden here comes the SWAT team.
The problem is the SWAT teams are there because they think there's a dangerous situation, and they're there to take care of business.
Right.
And so people have gotten hurt and shot and sorts of things just because they bust in there and the person's wildly confused, and it just ends up being a really awkward situation. So it's
they just caught a brother and a sister or somebody. These kids were young that they had told somebody that they swatted, and they went in and I don't know what the outcome of them. They were young to think that these kids know how to SWAT. And just think about all these people that have hacked into the U.S. Treasury and the federal government and the Pentagon. You don't think they're going to be able to hack into these cars and take over and have them their own monopoly?
They just recently hacked into AT&T.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the hackers, they've got a way to hack. And if you think that they're not going to be able to do that, well, they've been stealing cars by these they get it. I don't know quite how they do that.
Well,
you probably know.
What they're doing is with certain cars, they're able to go through a connection through the headlight.
Right.
And how they figured this out, God only knows, and tap into it and start the car. And so there's cars out there that if you have an actual key, your insurance premium's through the roof. And so my son owns one. And so I said, well, how much to upgrade where it's only a fob to lower the insurance? Well, a buddy of mine calls us, hey, we can redo the software on it, and they can't do it anymore. So we took the car over. They redid the software. I sent it to the insurance company. They said, we're not going to lower your insurance.
Thank
I went,
you.
what a racket. But you just think that these guys now, he goes by, he's got this little handheld deal. They showed him on TV. This guy was one of the biggest hackers, whatever. He went to prison for a long time. Now he works for the federal government, showing how it works. And he goes by this Mercedes-Benz with this little thing in his pocket, walks right by the car. There's a guy sitting however far away. He's typing something to the left. All of a sudden, the locks pop. He gets in the car, hits the button, and drives off in the Benz. I'm going, the thieves, if they would take their intellect, they would solve every disease in the world. They would create there's so many things they could do, but instead, let's see how big of a thief we can be.
Well, they get away with it, and that's the scary part about anything that's electronic, because now they can really do whatever if they figure out a way to do it. And that's the scary part about what you're saying of taking over an 18-wheeler that's 80,000 pounds, and if they are in a bad mood.
Oh, yeah. Sky's the limit.
Yes, sir.
And it's a scary thing. That's why I'm saying autonomous vehicles should be so far down the road. And here's my big thing. Here's the big problem. We understand that in the world, when there's devastation, or let's just stick with the United States, hurricanes, tornadoes, flooding, we all chip in and pay. When our insurance goes up, even I have a perfect driving record, knock on wood. Yesterday, I got real close to having an accident, wasn't paying attention. But my insurance keeps going up. Melinda has a perfect driving record. And why? Because they're spreading the losses amongst everybody. What bothered me the most is all of these insurance companies are hiring all these celebrities, paying out millions of dollars, and we're paying for that too. You can put your average Joe Bag of Donuts on TV to talk about an insurance company. Why we need all of these celebrities doing commercials while we're paying high premiums, and the banking industry hiring all these celebrities to raise the rates to get our money so they can have celebrities on. I asked an executive, a couple of them not too long ago, what's your ROI on that money? You know what he said?
Probably have no idea.
That's not. No, I don't understand the question. I said, then why are you in the financial industry? Why do you have the job and that you can't tell me what an ROI is if you spend $1 million on a celebrity,
and you can't.
What's your ROI? How many people go, I'm going to use that bank or I'm going to use that insurance company? State Farm pulled out of Florida. They had Aaron Rodgers and all those people forever and ever spending millions of dollars.
Of course.
And still, Well,
they recorded one right here in Irving, Texas, at our
right.
buddy's music store.
Yep. And so you look at all the money that's being spent, Liberty Mutual, all of these, and I'm going, well, I take that back. Liberty Mutual, you don't see all of the celebrities.
Right.
And their commercials are actually kind of cute. But then you go to the ones that have all the celebrities on it, and you're going, why are we paying for that? And you got to understand something. We put our money in the bank.
That's what we are paying for.
Sure. And so rates keep going up. And I said, what if they cut out Spike Lee and Charles Barkley and whatever that girl's name is that is always saying, what's in your wallet? And all the rest of them, Jennifer, whatever her name is, Jennifer Gardner, get rid of all of them. Get rid of all of them. And start bringing down the rates and helping people. You know what? I'm at a bank now. They've shut down every franchise here. I have to go all the way to Coppell to bank if I want to bank. And they said, well, go online. So I told her, hey, your system's down. I'm trying to shift money over. She goes, you'll just have to wait till the system's up. We can't do that over the phone. I said, so you just asked me all of my security codes and my social for what? To verify that you are who you are. I said, now that you verified that.
You can't do nothing.
And I'm using the same bank going from one account to the other. You can't move that money. No, sir. So what was the reason for validating and going through that whole process if you can do nothing?
She wrote all that
for 2 to 3 business days.
Sir, I'm not in charge of. No, that's not what I asked you. Why? And so this is where the American people need to take back the system. The system is taking over the American people.
Do you buy the insurance because Aaron Rodgers advertised it?
No.
No. And that's what I don't get. I mean, you could just have anybody get up there and say, hey, here's what we can do. And the cost could come way down without spending that kind of money.
Yeah, well, just think. Remember when Lincoln came out with Matthew McConaughey?
Right.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey, man. And, I'd like to be Matthew McConaughey.
Well,
good-looking guy.
Well,
I'd like to have his hair. But anyway, he comes out, and so my whole deal was, how many more Lincolns did you sell when you paid that guy the kind of money that
30
they
seconds.
command to talk about Lincoln? When there's so many other people that says, you know what? Here, let's talk to Bo Carver. He's owned Lincolns for 20 years. Why have you owned Lincolns? Exactly. I mean, there's other ways to do this and put real wholesome, true commercials out versus wasting so much money thinking that's going to do more. And the only ones that's making the money are the marketing agencies because nobody else is benefiting from it. 214-787-1190. I'm Kurt Chase with the great one, Big Wheel Bo Carver. Carver Jr. at the helm of the wheel. Maddie back in studio. Quick break. We'll be right back.
Blame it on my roots. I showed up in boots.
And ruined the black tie.
I showed up in boots.
Ruined black tie.
I don't want to get Sony all upset.
The last one.
A cover by Mr. Chase shouldn't get anybody in trouble.
See there.
Maybe we should just start singing our
Yeah,
own.
honestly. Yeah.
Forget it. What do we
When
get?
I took his
Would we get in
glass
trouble?
of champagne.
I don't think we get in trouble just us singing it.
No.
Right? It's if we play the actual
That's
artist.
right.
That's where the problem is. Okay, well. So,
'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey rounds and
well, how did you like,
chases my blues
did you like
away.
De Niro's speech the other day?
What a moron. What a total buffoon. What a total buffoon.
You hear all the honking in the background, the people.
Yeah, one guy goes, all of your movies suck. And then he F-bombed him. I'm going, who told you to be so stupid? And the thing was, the thing about it is they're going, these are heroes. But the one guy on the right, you hear him, they're screaming at the guy going, you're a turncoat, you're a traitor. And they show him dancing with Pelosi.
Right.
They show him at all these Democratic things. And the guy is just, every one of the fans, they recognize him because he's been in so many photo shoots with Democrats.
Right.
And, okay, he served in the military. God bless you.
Right.
But what you did after...
It's gone downhill.
Come on, buddy. And so they show him just standing there. He's got his chest all out, standing next to De Niro, looking, and everybody knew that. I didn't know who the guy was, but then I did a little research. I'm going, there is more posts with him hanging out with the Dems, and then De Niro gets him to stand behind him and going, "This is a true warrior. He's the reason that we have our freedom." I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Stop that. And then he just sounded so stupid. I mean, to be such a great actor.
Well, it was kind of funny because what I thought was kind of interesting is supposedly that he can memorize, things for movies and stuff, and yet he was having a hard time reading his own thing. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Where he'd go back and like I've already read that.
Yeah.
Go
home.
They were heckling the crap out.
Make movies and keep your political mouth shut when you don't have a clue what you're talking
And
about.
buy some new platform cheese.
Here's the thing. You could ask every Democrat out there if they would answer honestly, put them on a lie detector, or other than that, strap them to electric zapper and say, were you better off when Trump was in the office financially or when Biden was in the office? Were the American people better off financially with Biden or Trump? And if you lie, we're going to zap you.
Well, I mean,
and here's the thing.
Okay, first of all,
the numbers are the numbers.
If you just ask them the question, what was the interest rate here and what's the interest rate now?
Yeah. What's the price of gasoline? And what is it now?
Price of cars, price of homes,
foreign relations.
Foreign relations. Oh boy, that's a big one.
Border crossing.
Groceries, everything is up 45, 50%.
And the thing is, some people say, I just don't like him. That's okay. I remember Coach Dacus, and this coach.
That sounds like a mean name right there, Dacus.
He was big. We had Coach Mullins, who was the head coach. We had Coach McDonald, and then Coach Dacus. And I'm going to tell you, and Coach Redding. Coach Dacus was this big guy, and he was freaking brutal. But at the end of the game, when the score was a win, he'd say, that's what happens when you listen to what I tell you to do. Now, we didn't like his approach. We didn't like his language.
Like his
back then,
attitude,
the coaches could call you whatever they wanted. But at the end, we had our helmets off, raising our helmets going. He goes, now you can celebrate. He didn't let us celebrate at practice. You couldn't. I mean, Charlie Davis, he'll tell you about Coach Day because we played football together at Lamar.
30 seconds.
And we had these coaches that, I remember Coach Purvis, you boys are like slop against the wall. Just throw it and maybe some of this crap will stick. And he said but you know what? He produced a winning team. So how you, the approach of getting there you may not like, but if the results are good, who cares?
Well, the bottom line is he's not a politician, and that's the biggest.
Well, there's too much entitlement and hurt feelings in the world.
But the politicians want to control. And if you're not a politician, you're not in the game.
Say thank you for flying with us today.
He was a man.
On the AutomotiveEdge.com.
He was a mean old cuss.
Please
He was.
all cigarettes and cigars. Place your seats in the upright position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door.
3, 2, 1.
Warning. The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
Thanks so much for joining us. 214-787-1190. Be sure to like and share the show. And I want to clarify something. I don't have any animosity towards any of the insurance company because there's a couple of them that I mentioned that I actually use, and they've been very good to me. We had flood damage in our house. They come in and took care of everything. What I'm saying is the powers to be should get rid of the marketing agencies and do it in-house.
You're talking about the cost.
Yeah, bringing in real people to talk about how great your business is than all of these celebrities. You know, one thing that I loved about Chevrolet's commercial, and this is something that all the insurance companies could pay attention to. I remember when Chevrolet had the commercials where they were really pushing the Suburbans, and they showed this lake, this area, pond, whatever you want to call it, and around the whole pond was all of these gatherings of Chevy Suburbans, all the different years. I remember when they come out with Saturn, and they had real people driving real Saturns all showing up for these massive events. And if you owned a Saturn, you got invited to these massive barbecues. The tents were as big as this neighborhood, it seemed like. And thousands of people showed. True American testimonials of why your company is so good. Stop with all the celebrities. They do not bring you a big ROI. You may find them funny, like in the Super Bowl commercials, you know, when Frito-Lay and all them spend millions of dollars to get their brand out. Well, then you have the choice to buy Fritos or Lay's potato chips or Budweiser beer or whatever. But when it comes to something you have to have, i.e. insurance and i.e. financing a home and i.e. high interest rates or whatever the case may be, let's bring in real people with real testimonies on how well you've serviced them and why they've been with you so long versus all this other crap that is costing us more money. And I promise you, if I was the one doing the analytics on the ROI, I bet it's not there.
I bet it's just, you'd be shocked. You'd choke going like, what are we doing here? And if, for me, there's nothing better, and we've had this on our show before too, where people have called in and emailed you, real people that's gotten real success, going to the automotiveedge.com, clicking on Ask Kurt, saying, hey, I need your help. Here's my number, here's my name, and they've called in. Mm-hmm. Remember the lady that called in and she was a nervous wreck, completely nervous wreck to go through the process. You walked her right through it. She was so tickled, so happy. That testimonial could override anybody that was a star or athlete to call in and say, Kurt, help me. That'd be nice too. But those kind of things is what I get more.
The real grassroots.
Right, correct.
You know that commercial, Nationwide is on your side? They have been for 19 years. Right. They've taken very good care of me. I don't like the fact that the rates are going up, but not because of me. It's because of tornadoes, flooding, all these accidents. Everybody's going to share in the pool. Geico, I mean, how much are they paying the lizard? They can't be paying a lizard anything.
Well, I heard he was holding out for more money.
You know, keep it wholesome and keep it real, and let's everybody, more people would jump on board than all the crazy. I just don't think superstars or big Hollywood celebrities bring any value to the product.
No.
Because we know, I'm not a betting man, but I would wonder how many of them actually use that product.
Wow, that'd be a good question, huh?
Yeah. And so I've asked that question. You know what they all say? We don't have that data. We don't know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if I was around all of them, I would say, hey, do you bank there? Do you use that insurance? I'd want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on. Let's get back to the basics of, let's hear what the American people really want to say about you and your company. And I know you're probably going to have to weed through a few because no one's perfect and no one's completely happy. But I love the old commercials. I love the old, have you driven a Ford lately? And they talk to Ford people and they show guys from the country on the back of it with a cup of coffee to hauling boats or whatever. That is the stuff I believe really brings people back to going, I'm going to check that product out. If that many Americans are saying, this is great, this is wholesome, and think about all the products growing up. You know what? You know the reason I tried Life cereal? Because Mikey did.
Mikey did it. Mikey did it. Everybody's got it.
Yeah. Tony the Tiger. Who didn't want to be strong like Tony the Tiger?
No doubt.
Great.
And I heard he held out for my money, too.
He did. So if you think about growing up, all the things that help you decide, I mean, think about it. The only if you back up a long ways, I think the only commercial that was the extreme eye catcher is when what's her name? The supermodel Cindy Crawford did that Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
And the boys are sitting there staring. They think they're staring at her because she's so gorgeous, but they're going, wow, I'd like to have a Pepsi. You know? And so back then it was such great, wholesome. The Budweiser commercials with the Clydesdale. I think more people enjoyed that and watching the Clydesdale kick the footballs and, you know, than, I don't know. I'm so...
Well, there's also a cost factor in just doing a commercial. Okay? I mean, that's a pretty big cost in itself.
Sure.
Then they have to pay for the time on the commercial. And, of course, we've known in the Super Bowls it's through the roof, $2 million at 30 seconds or something?
Yeah.
So they've got all that. Then you add the star on top of it. It's got to be just so astronomical that it's not even funny. And I want to know if they got it in their wallet.
You know what? Here's the thing. When I see these new Jeeps that they're putting out there, they're calling it they're crawlers that can go over all the rocks and showing everything to do. And then all of a sudden, Al Pacino sticks his head out the window. Is that going to sell more Jeeps?
I wouldn't think so.
Now, maybe if it was Raquel Welch or somebody, you know.
A lot of people probably don't even know who he is. Think about that with his age.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. I mean, let them promote their movies. And this isn't taking anything away, but I'm telling you, go to the grassroots of the American people that are spending the money, and let's get commercials with them. Let's hear what they have to say. I love it when you see actual customer.
Oh, yeah.
That vitamin, I've got Balance of Nature.
1 minute.
Right.
I started, I was shooting some stuff out on social media, and I was inundated with people going, it's the best vitamins I ever had. So I started taking them, and I love them. And so for me, I don't care what celebrities have to say. I want to know what the people have to say.
Right, exactly.
And that's my whole point. Because I love State Farm. I love Liberty Mutual. I'm from Brooklyn, so I love the Statue of Liberty. Geico, all of you guys, you know, you help people. Long run, you help people. Let's just go back to the block and tackle grassroots and really get a better message out than what they're doing. Humor
30 seconds.
doesn't sell.
Sergeant
Yep.
Maddie is
Sergeant
at work.
Maddie. Yep. The new General Patton.
You guys don't listen.
787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Remember, I am not hating. I'm a lover. I just want to go back to the basics of grassroots. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Ronnie Swain's coming out tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's a good song. There you go. We'll be there, brother. Looking forward to seeing you.
I know Maddie's dancing now.
That's a good song right there.
This one now.
Yep, she's two-stepping across the studio right now. She is.
No.
Can you two-step, Maddie?
No.
Yes, you can.
Problem.
Well, you like country music and you don't two-step?
It's pretty easy. Well, I don't know. It depends on which way you're moving.
It's true.
Well, for 2 steps, and then you got to think about it after that.
I always wanted to learn how to country dance. My sister used to be an instructor, and boy, she could shake it up on country floor.
Well, like the real country dancing, or like 2-stepping?
No, she was all in. That girl could get out there and tear up that dance floor, and I I was always a disco duck, but
I like disco dances too.
yeah, I think that country music, some of them ones that are really good. I don't like all the really fast movement and everything, but those ones that just kind of float around the floor
They
and they're
flow where they
spinning.
flow,
and
yeah.
Man, I think that's just super cool.
Purple Haze is a pretty good country dancer.
Is she?
She'll teach
Oh,
you.
I know. Let me just tell you, I was at that deal in Grand Prairie, and she had no problem asking men to dance.
And she won't tonight either.
She walked up and she goes, "Excuse me, are y'all married?" This lady looked up and she goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Would you mind if I dance with your husband?" And she looked over and she went, well, I guess go
I
ahead.
guess.
And she was out dancing through half the show.
That's right. She always says, that's my husband up there, so he can't dance.
Oh, yeah, that was the deal. That's my husband up there playing bass, and I like to dance. Can I dance with your husband? And nobody said no.
Charles Davis is laughing, going, Maddie is going to just call y'all out one time for not listening to her. No, she's going to just cut us off.
She's just going to cut us
Yeah,
off.
she's got the power to do it. I know that.
Yeah, Maddie don't play. I knew what I was getting into before I started, though.
Exactly.
Did someone say my name, or did I just imagine that?
No, somebody made a
Oh,
comment.
your ear's burning there.
Somebody
Maddie.
made a comment about you on
You're
our
coming up on
media
social
site.
media now.
Yeah,
What am I? What are they saying?
you're a hot
They
item.
said Maddie's just going to cut you off
If we
one
don't start
time for
listening
not
to you.
listening.
Yeah, one day I will. Actually, no, I won't.
We're going to be ever just flapping our jaws. Ain't nothing going to be heard.
Let's see. Cindy said she was country dancing back in
There
school.
you go.
I only know how to salsa and bachata. My parents did not teach me how to country dance.
Salsa and bachata.
What is
Yeah.
bachata?
Bachata.
That sounds like
It's
a
kind
nice
of like
Mexican
the
dish.
Mexican version of two-step, but
Oh,
it's like you just hit hips and you move.
I'd like to see that.
Can your dad do that?
I have no idea. Maybe.
Well, how did you learn?
Well, my mom knows how to do it, so her and I would dance, and then my friends and I would just go to Latin clubs.
Wow.
Does your dad speak Spanish?
No, he does not.
Have you ever seen a samba dancing, like Brazilian samba dancing?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I've experimented.
Well, he dated a young lady that was Brazilian, so he had to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a pretty sight. I was the only white man on the floor, and
That's okay. At least you're trying and learning.
My hips are disingenuous. It's pretty bad.
Mm.
At least you took the time to learn.
Yeah, right. That's what I said about the Portuguese too. But now look where we are.
Well, there you go. And I don't know how to dance a lick.
Don't get him to.
You know what? It doesn't matter. I mean, people think you have to know how to dance. You just get out there and groove. It
Well,
don't
on the
matter.
grooving stuff, I
I mean, go look at Woodstock. You call that dancing? Those people were having a time of it. You know what?
just move into the groove.
You know what? I had a buddy that used to get on the dance floor, and he looked so bad. It was terrible what he was doing on that dance floor, but all the girls were dancing with him. They just wanted to dance. And all the girls sitting at the bar, all the real pretty ones, the guys were afraid to ask. He didn't care. He'd walk up, you want to dance? Heck yeah. And I don't even know what to call what Gary was doing on the floor. But you know what? The girls didn't care.
Didn't matter.
They got to dance.
That's all what it's about right there.
That's right. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Burleson Nissan. My good buddy, Justin Crane, managing partner, general manager. This is a place where moms and dads, you can buy brand new cars at $20,000, maybe a little bit less, depending on the incentives and everything. That's a brand new 2024 Nissan Sentra. They've got something in stock for every need, from the kicks to the Sentra. He's got, let me tell you, he's got some certified pre-owned Altimas. He's got a 2024 on his lot with only 5,000 miles for $23,900. You can't go wrong.
No.
The place, Burleson Nissan, from used to certified pre-owned to brand new, all in one place. And you talking about laid back. That boy shows up in jeans and boots, and he's just kicking it there at the dealership, and it's the mindset all the way across. Just come by and have some fun buying a car for a change. The place, Burleson Nissan, 35 and Renfro Road in Burleson, just straight down 35. Hop, skip, and a jump away, or start online at burlesonnissan.com. So, let's see here.
Ronnie Swain says, I was on a senior trip during Woodstock.
Wow.
I bet that was wild.
You know, I I watched the deal that the guy that started Woodstock and how he put the young guys put Woodstock together. And I always said, if you don't think you can dance, watch the Woodstock, the series on Woodstock, and you're a professional dancer.
Another thing that'll teach you is that don't ever think that an idea is a bad idea because they thought there was going to be just a few people there, and it turned out to be just a ball buster.
Yeah, that guy said, I'll lease you my farm, and he had no idea what was showing up on that farm.
I don't know how many. Maybe.
And then you look at the lineup of the people that were there playing.
Oh, yeah. Jimi Hendrix and tons of people.
Yeah.
Joe Cocker. I mean, there was a bunch of them.
Yeah, I would. I don't know that I would go to anything ever like that. Not my gig. Barbara Ann would go.
Well, you should be on the front row, probably on the stage.
That's right. She'd be up in the middle of it. Concerts have never been my gig.
He said it was in South Vietnam. Well, that was not good, was it?
Yeah. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Here's a question I have for the listeners. And you can give us a call, 214-787-1190. Where do you feel most comfortable buying a car? I sent this survey out a while ago, and you can comment online, whether it's shifting gears, which I see people popping onto YouTube. Go to the Automotive Edge, Facebook, Bo Carver, Kurt Chase, the Automotive Edge, plenty of places to post your comments. But I sent out a survey, and here was the top 5. I said, where do you feel the most comfortable buying a car? Is it online, a dealership, a used car lot, complete online delivery, or from an individual? Where do you feel most comfortable buying a car? And it was so mixed that I was blown away. And I was really surprised how many people like buying cars from individuals. Go online and find people that, post their car and go into their home and looking at a car. I was blown away by how many people actually do that.
I might be okay if it's an individual I know.
Yeah.
That I would buy from. But, I bought one from my brother, the Expedition. But that was my brother. I knew the condition of that car from day one.
Right.
So that's different. But just going to a Joe Bagger guy's house, and doing I've never done that.
Neither have I. I never have.
And I understand being cautious about a dealer because of the rap it's gotten from the past. But that's the whole reason to go to the automotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, because he can walk you through all that. So going to a dealer now, he can make it really, really easy for you. And I highly suggest that over trying to do it yourself, going to an individual you don't know, what the car's been through, flood damage. You have no idea all about all those things. And even a lot of used car lots might be the same position with the condition of the vehicles.
Well, a lot of people don't know how to look at cars. They walk up and they look on the outside. They don't see any dents or damage. They open it up and it smells like whatever that new car smells supposed to smell like. I don't understand it.
They have a new car smell spray.
Yeah,
it doesn't smell.
And it's not new car.
It's different.
Yeah, it's a little different. Always is. But here's the thing: a lot of people don't know how to look at it. And then what's funny is when I get the phone calls from the consumers, they say, "Hey, Kurt, I was looking at this car, and they describe it. What do you think?" I'm going, you know what? That's I can't endorse a car that way. And they're like, "What do you mean? You're the car guy." I said, "Well, I am the car guy."
Sounds like a 10, but could be a 0.
But there's so much more. I guess you can put lipstick on a pig and call it whatever you want, but it's still a pig. We need to take and look at that automobile.
Well, first of all, there's a couple things. Number one is
1 minute.
Well, boy, I guess we'll have to do that after break because I don't want to get in trouble by Sergeant Maddie.
Now she's being nice, going, you have a whole minute.
You have a whole minute.
Good morning, Ricky Hinojosa. Good to have you join us this morning. Well, the thing is, there's so much to look at.
There's body damage.
If you look at the skin, you don't know what's internal.
Right.
Kind of like, when you meet somebody and you just fall in love, and then the internal part shows its head, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, what did I get into?"
7 personalities.
Yeah, what was that? There was a couple of shows out there where some guys married some girls, and or vice versa. They turned out to be crazy.
Yeah.
We need to look at the internals of the automobile. Your description is okay, but it doesn't help me go stamp by the car.
All right.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Let's take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. I need to get with you, Ricky. I need some new grips on a few of my clubs so I can get back to swinging now that my my fractured vertebrae are healing, just about healed up. I'm ready to get out and swing the clubs, and I notice I've had them up for a long time, and the grips are in bad shape. And Ricky, man, he's the master. I brought him my clubs, and I sat there with him, and he lives right up the street, and, boy, he hooked me up.
Can he do left-handed clubs?
He can.
Oh.
Those are mine.
I know. I was just wondering. I figured he could only do right-handed.
Well, he has to turn sideways when he does it.
Turn upside down?
Yeah, he does. He's got to turn at a different angle when he does left-handed clubs.
When's the last time you played?
2.5 years ago.
Wow.
And my son, we used to play. I played in a lot of tournaments with Ricky. Ricky and I, it was me and Ricky. I'm trying to think who else played with us, and we won. We won one tournament. Ricky's a phenomenal golfer. We won one like by 15 strokes, and there were the guys, boo, boo. But we didn't cheat. Let me tell you what, Ricky isn't. What I like playing with Ricky is he's honest. He doesn't cheat. I got a buddy, Scott, and he's got a hole in his pocket. And he keeps a ball in there, and he's looking all around for his ball, and all of a sudden this ball, oh, hey, I'm over here. And we're playing for 25 cents a hole, and he's cheating. Or he'll walk in the woods and go, hey, I found my ball. He'll come out with some ball all dirty that's been in there for probably a couple of months. He just cheats. But anyway, when we play with Ricky, I'm trying to think, it was me and Ricky. I'm trying to think who the other two golfers were, and we shot like a 58, 57.
Wow.
But you're playing best ball.
Right, that's cool.
But I'm telling you, Ricky with a fairway wood is him, and my son Colton are deadly. You can break out all the drivers you want, but this guy can take a 3-wood or a fairway wood and just kill it. And he does it effortlessly. And so anyway, I used to play every time it was really hot. Colton and I would load up a cooler with like a dozen bottles of water and hit. No one's out there. And we get to go play. We're playing at least twice a week, and then I play with Ricky, a dozen times. And Ricky will make you better because he's a good golfer, and he gets to play with a lot of cool guys. Russell Cowens and Roger Ketcherson, the guys. Keith Neff, the guys would be a blast to play with on a golf course. But I miss being out there and playing, and due to when I broke my ribs, and then
it's called due to getting old. Is that really what you want to say?
Man, I broke all of my left ribs, and then I
had the headaches,
had a compressed back, and then I fractured 2 vertebrae, and then I just had my jaw operated on. I went, I'm done. And I can tell you, the last time I saw Ricky, I'm working in the yard, and he came up and scared me, and it was not funny. I was hunkered over, man. I'm working in the yard, and he came up and hollered, and, man, I thought I was just going to pee myself. He was laughing.
I had an uncle that my dad and I would go play with my dad's brother, and the guys that don't know how to count.
Oh, yeah.
Like it'd be like a 10, and you ask him, well, what'd you get? Oh, I parred that. No, bogey or whatever. I'm going, what? Man, you were at bogey about 4 shots ago. Oh, no, I got it.
Yeah, there's always those guys. And you know what?
I don't know why.
Who cares? Throw your score out there.
People get mad at me when I play. They say, "What's your score?" And I go like 18.
Yeah,
I don't cheat. They don't like it because it's so high. Well, man, come on, pick up the pace.
I played with a guy. I only played with him twice, and he would be 8 foot out, but he was a really good golfer,
right.
And he just pick up his ball like it was an automatic. For a lot of people, when your ball's sitting, an inch or two from the hole,
that's okay.
They'll say, "Hey, pick it up."
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be 8 foot out, and he'd just pick it up, and he goes, "Come on, you don't think I was going to make that?" You have got to be kidding me. And so the second time we're playing in a tournament, and he was way out there. He goes, "That's an easy shot. Go ahead, give us hit the ball." So anyway, I said, I tell you what, I peeled off a $100 bill, and I marked that ball, and I said, "Here's $100." It wasn't even close. And he goes, "Well, I was kind of pressure on me for the 100. So you're a cheater." It's called cheating. And the $100 showed that you couldn't make that putt. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you best of 3. He didn't make it in 3 shots. And he goes, I don't know why you're being this way. And I never play with him again. Every time he called me, I'm like, nah, you just think you're
pulling that stunt. Well, isn't the whole thing of that is that you're supposed to wait for that person to say, go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to pick it up.
Yeah.
But or you can ask, can I pick it up? Sure. Or no.
They actually call it a gentleman's game.
Right.
Now, I never played with my dad, but my brother said, look, Dad didn't waver.
He was hardcore.
Yeah. He
1
didn't.
minute.
It's out. You put it.
But if you hit it in the woods, Dad would walk right up and go, mark it here. And he knew the strokes.
Right.
My dad was,
knew the game.
He didn't play. And my brothers were that way too. I took them all to Marble Falls. And
beautiful area.
We played 96 holes in 3 days. And one of my brothers was getting beat pretty good. And so there was a few
nasty
questionable counts on the hole. Hey, what'd you get? 4, and we're just shaking our head. No, it was a 4, and I was okay. Oh, it's 4. It's a 4.
You didn't say nothing, but they took offense to it.
Yeah, we didn't want to ruin the moment, But on the way home, we wore him out. So he had to sit in the car for 3.5 hours and get verbally abused.
No way to get him in
30 seconds.
Yeah, we didn't want him to walk off the golf course, But there's nothing better than being out there with your buddies because I turn my phone off.
Yes, and the scenery and how this manicured and all that is.
I don't understand how people drink on a golf course. My game's bad enough. I can't imagine.
Maybe their game gets better.
Unbelievable. I just can't
Or
play.
they just don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. I can't golf and drink. I can't drink that much anyway, so it doesn't enhance my game.
Don't drink and play golf, they say.
Yep. But it's great, especially when you do all the different fundraisers.
Hello, this is your pilot speaking. We're currently taxiing out to the runway and getting ready for takeoff. I don't see any turbulence, and we should arrive at our destination safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Highly Acura, where they highly respect your time each and every time that you show up. The new ZDX is in. If you're an all-electric fan, I was talking to David Gomez, the managing partner at the dealership, and the ZDX is here for you to go check out, plus the Integra and the RDX, the MDX, the A-Spec. They've got it all. And it is one of the best luxury sport cars you can spend your money on. And when it comes to spending money, then it's got to come down to who. And the place, right there at 35 and Riverside Road, stop in and see David Gomez and let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show and enjoy shopping. I can tell people a lot of times they say, well, I don't like to shop because of the pressure. Well, that's why you go to theautomotiveedge.com, you click on Ask Kurt, and let me get you with the people. I make the phone call and going, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Bag of Donuts are coming in. They just want to shop, and they roll out the red carpet and give you the best shopping experience possible. They don't ask for your social. They don't grind you and try to make you buy today. They do exactly what the phone call asks them to do, and that place is Highly Acura Fort Worth. 35 in Riverside, or you can find them online all the time at highlyacura.com. That's highlyacura.com, where he says, your time is highly respected, and they do. And that was part of their mantra and has been for a long time. I've known David Gomez for many, many, many years, and he's about as laid back as you get. But you know what? He demands professionalism, knowledge, and understanding on a showroom floor, and that's what separates him from any other Acura store. The place, highlyacura.com. So the number one, when I asked about how do you feel when the most comfortable place to buy, a lot of people still said the dealership. Number two was I was kind of blown away by how many people do so much online shopping now. I'm not an online shopper.
Now,
are you an online shopper? Well, you are.
Oh,
it's an addiction. This man orders something, and I love him to death.
Oh, you can blame it on Barbara Ann, and it's you. Now
he
Junior
orders
tells us the
something
truth.
every single day
Amazon
off that
knows me by
darn
my middle
Amazon
name.
Prime.
Wow.
well, it's so easy and just little things. You can order just, I don't know, just little stuff from deodorant to this, that, and the other, and it's there the next day. And it's, it's easy peasy.
It's gluttonous is how I feel.
I don't get it. I go to the store.
Well, I don't.
Get out,
I don't waste my
exercise,
gas.
smile at people.
Some human interaction, right? Say
You know, it's
hi
so
to
funny. Every
somebody.
time I get to the register, no matter where it is, how are you today? Greatest day of my life. And I turn it up a couple notches. They're like, why is that?
Well, Amazon thanks me for my purchase.
Or they say, did you just win the lottery? It's amazing. And here you are, a people person at a register talking to somebody, depending on where you are. I'm surprised how many places are self-checkout.
That's everybody's
so out
going
on
to that
that.
almost, yeah.
But that's just amazing. In fact, I got to tell you, the other day I was at a store and I was buying some very expensive items for the home, new garage door opener and some other stuff. And I said, are you the manager? He said, yeah. I said, I want somebody to check me out. He said, no. I said, look, I'm spending a lot of money. I want somebody to check me out, or I'm going to leave my cart right here. I'm not getting in line and doing this. He goes, I'll be right with you, sir. Brought somebody over to open the register.
Well, it's a shame you have to be that way.
Yeah, I don't get it. When you're spending that kind of coin, and I don't see where it says save 10% and check yourself out.
No, that'd be a different story, wouldn't it?
Wow. Okay. Well, if I'm gonna load it, unload it, and check it out, load it again, and unload it in my car again, give me a discount.
I was at a Walmart, one of those, what do you call them, those little family types? Neighborhood. And I went to one, and they had the line just for self-checkout is all they had.
Mm-hmm.
But there was about 3 or 4 people just watching the self-checkout that worked there. I'm going like, no, doesn't make any sense. You're paying them just watch the checkout. Why couldn't you have them doing the checkout themselves?
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I found it really kind of
how many people does it take to change a light bulb?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Well, back to the car situation, I could understand going online and maybe doing the work at a dealership. But I don't get it when they're doing places that are like where you go and put this little slot thing in and the car rolls down a deal.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Or any other place where it's not a place that's a real hardcore dealership.
Right. Well, my whole thing is I asked, how do you research your car? Was it online? Are you brand loyal or a referral, or do you just go shopping? And I am shocked how many people say, I do 90% online. I'm like, how does that work? When it's the second largest purchase of your life, how come, and I use the 80-10-10 rule, and I've always expressed this when I was running dealerships, and I had all my salespeople. I said, we're going to work the 80-10-10 rule, and I want you to write that down, memorize it, write it on your hand, tell the consumers, we only do the 80-10-10 rule when it comes to buying a car. What do you think they all said?
Okay, what is it?
What's the 80-10-10 rule?
Right.
80% is making sure you're happy and this car is exactly what you want. 10% is going to be taking care of your paperwork, and the other 10% is going to get you to sign the paperwork and take delivery. How does that sound to you? And people are like, wow, that's pretty cool. And I made everybody do it. This whipping the car around the block and coming back, because, when you drive a car down the highway, it always smells good and feels good. And I always tell them, do you remember the last time that you scrubbed your car? I mean, really scrubbed and detailed your car. I mean, you put the Shine Bright on the wheels, you cleaned it all out, you hung whatever on the deal, and it just smelled. You were ready for your date. You were ready. And what happened? The car drove better.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like
it did do
you
that.
got a brand new car. Because I used to take a
It was
toothbrush.
a smiley face car then.
I took the toothbrush and cleaned all the crevices, and I had the vacuum. And my brother used to own a detail business, so he showed me some shortcuts on using steel wool and newspaper and how to really clean it and how to get the smell out. And, I kept my cars immaculate. But every time I spent that 2-3 hours on my car, man, it drove so much nicer.
Oh, yes, it did.
And so there was no problem. So with consumers, you go out and you drive that brand new car down the highway, and you come back
It's
and go,
like that.
wow, what a great car. That worked out perfect. And you're going, Really?
10 minutes in it.
And then you wouldn't believe how many times after, 36 years in the industry, 20 of it was running dealerships. And I actually worked for a company for 4 years and did the radio show. And how many people called me with buyer's remorse? Hey, Mr. Chase, how can I bring this car back? I've had it for 2 weeks. My back's hurting. My leg's hurting. I can't park it right in the garage. All these different complaints. And I went, wow. And so I didn't know what buyer's remorse was. Here I am new, and those phone calls, people would say, well, I have the 72-hour law. If I don't like it in 72 hours, I get to bring it back. That is not true. 72 hours means if the car was misrepresented and they came to you and presented an automobile and there was almost no mileage on it, you bring the car back. Or if you were sent out on a BVA or a BCA, you didn't have the paperwork, bring it back. You own the car when you have signed everything. You have copies, and once you drive over the curb, you are an owner, period. That's how it works. And so I told them that the only way that it was going to work is if we did 80-10-10. And so one guy goes, man, there's no way I could sell 4 or 5 cars in a day with the 80-10-10. I said, then go work somewhere else. He said, really? I sell 20 cars a month. I said, I don't give a crap if you sell 30 a month. 80-10-10 or get off my lot. And you know what? I'm going to know, because I'm going to talk to every customer my managers are. And so I'd walk in and go, hey, what's going on? You wouldn't believe how many people said, this is incredible. He took us to our house. We parked it in the garage. I remember the people that bought the big SUV. You know what? I told him, I said, well, we travel a lot. So why don't you take it home and load it with everything and see if it's going to work? My salesman will be with you. He's like, you got to be. I had more salesmen start to get mad at me.
Well, that's what Jason.
But my closing ratio went through the roof, right, and my buyer's remorse went to what?
Way
0.
Right.
I didn't have anybody going, I really got to enjoy it. I really got to drive it. And there was one that says, you know what? He was really on the bubble. I said, he goes, well, you know what? I just not comfortable just driving, with a salesperson. When I said, get his driver's license insurance. When I said, take it home. I'll see you tomorrow. You're kidding. No, take it home, see you tomorrow. You may like it, you may not, but I want you happy. He came back the next day and he goes, done deal. It wasn't always 100%. Some people said no matter what, they didn't like it. Right. But for the most part, and I tell people that you have to take, in the auto industry, and know your customer. And next week, I'm going to be doing some training with a group of salespeople, and I'm going to teach them how to do a 3-minute interview to find out everything about that customer, and to go out and enjoy spending time with them in the car. And remember, we got 2 ears and 1 mouth. If we speak half as much as we do and take in half more than what we were doing, it's amazing how many more cars you're going to sell.
And not only that, the customer satisfaction and the happiness of that. Because you've talked about the time somebody called you, they bought a vehicle and got to Oklahoma and said, we hate this car.
Yeah.
Can you help us get
our legs were sleeping, our back was hurting.
And going like, oh, there you go. You just stop that with spending some time in that vehicle before you purchase.
And I asked the salesman, what'd you do? He goes, well, we whipped it around the block. Well, guess what? Now you're going to whip your butt up to Oklahoma and bring her back and put her in a different car. And all they had to do was put her in a car with electric seats. They were manual. And I said, here, let's do the 8-way position.
30 seconds.
And lifted up the bolsters and everything on the car. She got to Oklahoma. She got to Lawton, Oklahoma, and called me crying saying thank you.
There you go.
So it's the time you spent with the consumer, not the time you spend selling the consumer.
Right.
2 totally different principles. Let's take a quick break. Good morning, Fernando. Thanks for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're a rich girl, and you're going to cause you know it don't.
Pretty nutty. I'd like to thank everybody for being a part of our broadcast today here on our social media sites. Each and every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to noon. We are, of course, on the radio. We're taking a break right now on Talk Radio 1190, and that's KFXR, an iHeartMedia Network station. Several ways you can actually get the radio station. You can get it if you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex on your AM dial, 1190, or you can go to download the iHeartMedia app. You get the app while we're on. You just search Talk Radio 1190 Dallas. Boom, it'll take you there, and then we'll be on. Excuse me. It'll be a little commercial, and then we'll pop on if we're still on, talking, or a commercial on the radio. You'll be joining us that way. Or if you have a smart speaker, then you can just tell it. And I don't want to call the name because my phones will go off. You know what I'm talking about? The Alexa or the Echo. One of those kind of things. If you have one of those smart speakers, you say, hey, blah, 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 name, go to Talk Radio 1190 Dallas. Boom, there you are. Because that speaker will say, okay, taking you there, and we'll be there. So that's how you can join us on the radio from anywhere other than Dallas or Fort Worth Metroplex. But then we're on video and audio live streaming on Facebook, on the Automotive Edge Facebook page. That's the Automotive Edge Facebook page. We're also on Shifting Gears. We're also on Kurt's personal page, Kurt Chase personal page. We're on LinkedIn, which is Kurt Chase's personal LinkedIn page. And we're on YouTube. So you can go to youtube.com, search the Automotive Edge radio show, and bada bing, bada bang, it'll take you there. We ask you to like and share, subscribe to the YouTube page if you don't mind. It just helps get more data out there so that people can know about our service to help them. And so there's a lot of ways to catch us every Saturday morning here from 8 to noon on the Automotive Edge radio show, and we do appreciate that. And joining us all, as always, is Maddie back in studio, Maddie Gomez, who is our radio producer back in the home base, who has got the full control. She has the absolute button, as they call it, that she can push, and the game's over. Then,
The game's over.
and then we have a new addition to the Automotive Edge radio show. We have Graham Carver, who is our technical guru.
Tech guru.
Operating the live stream through StreamYard. We appreciate his addition to the broadcast, and he is wired up. If you got a question for him, he'll answer it.
While you guys talk about brand new cars off the lot, I spend my time working on a car that should never, ever end up on anybody's lot ever again. So.
Yeah, he's been underneath a vehicle for quite some time now, but it's running. You got it running. It's going.
That's what they call what it's doing. It's running away from me on the road is what it's doing.
Actually, it runs pretty good.
Yeah, it's smooth. I got a good buddy's help with it, so that that really got me further than I thought I'd ever.
His
be
buddy
at this point.
straightened the frame out by tying his truck up to it. What all did y'all do? That was pretty funny.
We did the old tree and chain trick.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, we did a little bit of sludging on the underside of it, try to scoot some of the metal back to straight, heated it up a little bit, hit it some more, but that's not how you break stuff, so we're fine.
It's actually
don't have to worry about
it's
it.
actually lined up pretty good.
I remember I had a buddy that tied a chain to a tree to the axle, and he's heating up and hitting it. If the chain would have broke, the car would have ran over him and killed him.
Right.
And he don't care. He's heating it up and tapping it with that
that's
deal. I'm
James.
going,
Hang on.
anything happens, we're going to witness death.
Oh,
But it worked. When it
25
was done,
seconds.
man, he had that axle straight, and all right, let's put the wheels on. So, we did whatever we needed to do to go out to the discos on the weekend.
well, that's what he's doing, except just to drive.
Just to get back over here. Yeah.
I remember how many cars we used to jump start, and then we'd get to the club, and we'd have a date, and it's, what are you doing? I just sit down in the car. We'd be pushing and jump start it to get it on.
Oh, that's funny. That's hysterical. Funny times.
Oh, now why did they ruin this song?
Without it,
What, putting that beat?
No, that person singing the song. That's a remix.
Probably.
That's not the original. That Maddie likes it though. That's what's important.
You have to talk to Maddie about playing.
No, I ain't talking to her about nothing. If Maddie wants to play it, play it.
All right. Good job, Maddie.
Yeah.
Perfect song.
That's right. You couldn't have picked a better song, Maddie. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190.
Ty Gentman said that's why my cars stay clean so they drive better.
That's right. They do drive better.
Ralph Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Ralph Paul. Give us a call, Ralph Paul. Hey, here's my picks for the week. Going into, can you believe that June is here? Halfway through the year.
Holy cow.
You realize in exactly 5 months from now, Christmas lights go up.
I'm excited about
184 days.
I can't wait.
Christmas lights are going up. Yes, sir. My lights will be this year. You know, we moved into the house and I had all these buckets in my garage and I had a bunch of buckets in the driveway. And so J-Dog Junk Removal, which is ex-military, I said, hey, do me a favor and take all these buckets. Well, they took the ones in the garage, too, and threw away about $3,000 worth of Christmas lights and decorations. I walked, I got
his
home.
trailer's nice decked out of Christmas.
And I called him and I said, I thought that everybody put everything in the shed and up in the attic. And all right, they helped Dad out. I get up there and look around. There's nothing up there. I'm going, where? No way. Oh. I called the company. I said, hey, did y'all take all the buckets out of the garage? Because let me call you back. He goes, yes, sir. You said take all the buckets. I said, in the driveway. He goes, oh, my gosh. I said, but he took about $3,000 worth of lights and decorations. He goes, I guess we'll have to pay for it. You know, and there were, ex-military and everything. I just didn't have the heart to go, wow.
Did you have to come over and do 20 push-ups at least or something?
No, so I'm rebuilding the collection. So
you probably
this year, and the guy that had the house before me didn't believe in Christmas. So when they saw lights on my house, all the neighbors that have been here since 98, 99, they're like, we can't believe you got lights. Well, wait till next year, folks. Yeah. Hey, let's talk real quick about my folks, my buddies, my friends over at Classic Kia Carrollton. Jesse Hull, another record month, and the reason why, you got the Kia's President's Award-winning team, and it takes a lot to be that way. It's not just about selling cars. They have to meet a big criteria to get the President's Award from Kia, and they did just that. Right there at 121 and 35, stop in and see Jesse Hull, see Nathan, the general sales manager. Do what?
Frankfurt and 35.
Frankfurt 35. Okay.
Well, I just want to lead them to the
go to
right
classickia.com and Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, I just had a friend of mine went over and picked his wife up a brand new Telluride, and he called me. He goes,
"It's a sweet ride, isn't it?"
That was unbelievable. He goes, "What?" And he goes, "I said the vehicle." He goes, "No, the people."
Oh,
and when you hear something like that, you're going, bingo.
Well, we know about that because we do a lot of live video broadcasts there on Saturdays. Occasionally, we rotate around, and there's nothing better than going there. That crew there, Jesse, and it's just a family feeling there, and it's always nice to go there. And you'll be happy to go there too.
No doubt about it. You start online at ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com, and take a look at their inventory. And you talk about discounts and moving it. Let me tell you what, they're rocking and rolling, and it starts with the owner, who would be Jesse Hull, and I've known Jesse for many, many years. When he started at a Honda store, and then when they sold it, I made a phone call, and they snatched him up, and then he got snatched up again and became a partner. And he knows how to run a dealership, and all of his subordinates are all on board. When it comes to Kia, there's not a better place than ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. That's ClassicKiaCarrollton.com. So here's my top 3 picks for the month of June to take a look at. One of them happens to be a Kia, the 2024 Kia Sportage Hybrid. This vehicle, when you look at all the goodies that are on this vehicle, how big it is, how roomy it is, the ride, the drive, the handling, which is so important to me, starting at $27,000 for as much equipment as you get on that car. And here again, the ride, the drive, and the handling is paramount for me, and you get all 3. And so if Kia hadn't been on your radar, put it on your, at least just stop by and test drive it. There's no charge to test drive it. The 2024 Kia Sportage Hybrid, starting at $27,190. The next, the Elantra Hybrid. And I got to tell you, I think that the Hyundai Elantra is one of the coolest looking cars in that category, because you have the Elantra, you have the Sentra, you have the Civic, you have the Corolla, you have the Mazda 3. All of them are good looking cars, but that Elantra is really a standout for just looks. When you walk up to that car, for me, that's a wow factor. And I'm a visual guy, so I like buying cars that look good. If they don't look good, I don't care how good they are internally. I won't buy them. I'm not going to buy a good, ugly car. I'll buy an ugly, good car, however you want to work. I like looks, and then I start doing the research because, really nobody builds a bad car these days. It's really going to be your flavor. But the Elantra Hybrid, and this thing only starts at $26,250. And for all the equipment here again that you're getting, and up to 58 miles on the highway. Give me a break. I mean, you can't beat it for 26.
These hybrids are awesome.
Yep. And then next coming in, this new GX 550 from Lexus. And I went over to Park Place, and I got a couple buddies that work over there. That is the cat's meow of Lexus. And they have so many different trim levels available and so many things that you can add to it. And they finally built the Lexus. For me, I mean, I'm not going to take a $64,250 vehicle off-road and beat the snot out of it, but it's designed for it.
Why not?
They actually have a model called the Overtrail, and you take a look at this thing, and it looks like it's ready to get it.
Does it get down and dirty on the off-road, huh?
For me, nicks and scratches bother me. I've had my new truck, and there's not a mark on it.
So if you had one of those, you probably wouldn't do it anyway because you like it pretty and not scratchy.
Yeah, I would be buying it for the opposite reason. But it's got that real rugged look about it. Like, let's go play, let's go have fun, let's go off-roading, let's head out to the lake.
Go in between these bushes and trees and everything.
I'm telling you, it is cool. So you have the premium, the luxury, and then the Overtrail. And they're starting at $62,250, and you can get them up to about $80,000. But I drove one, and I was going, usually when you see rugged and you get out on the road, like the Hummers, man, you could hear that road, those tires.
Right.
You see these big trucks going down, and you can hear the tires coming up behind. You don't hear the engine, you hear the tires.
Right, exactly.
And this one here, I'm going, well, what is going to be Lexus about it being that aggressive? What it actually looks like is the old FJ Cruiser modified. I mean, it's just incredible. Right when I saw it, I went, holy cow, they're bringing back the FJ Cruiser. But the FJ Cruiser was a 2-door. These are all 4-doors, and they've made it, there's a lot of lightness between both of them in a little bit more modern way. But I took that vehicle out and drove it, and I was blown away.
Did you take it off-road?
I didn't. I was tempted. There was a big old field off to the side, and I figured, what's wrong with a couple of donuts?
Just go out there.
Bring it back with some, where the mud guards are, some grass sticking out of it, and going, hey, you told me to test drive it,
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean down the highway. But anyway, that's my top 3 picks. 2024 Kia Sportage is a must-drive. The Elantra Hybrid, just for the styling alone, not only are you getting a great car, it's good looking. I've got a couple of nephews that drive one. I've got a few friends that bought them for their kiddos. That's a good looking car. And the first thing, and that brings me back to the point in the very first segment, we talked about style. And so I'm telling you, if you'd have put a SUV, any of the small SUVs in line, and the Elantra, there's no doubt, and you said we're going to have to pay for this one, but the other ones are free, they're still going to pick that car. And that's where the market needs to wake up and get back to putting good, affordable cars back out on the streets and stop with so many SUVs. Cut it out. Let's get back to building cars. Let's take a quick break. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. We get back. Possible, looking really good, cars of the future coming up here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Download the app, share and like the show on all the platforms that you're on right now so we can let people know that there's someone here to help them with their automotive needs. Don't go away. Quick break. We'll be right back.
He's in kind of a country mood today.
Yeah, it's a lot of country music today. I don't know about that.
I like it, though.
See what Art said?
She's probably practicing her 2-steps.
I'm going to be playing a lot of country music.
Art said if you had a day, she could help you push start it.
I know. Just pointing out the obvious, he says. Yeah. That's what I'll be doing tonight, playing mostly country music with the great Clint Moody out there in Aledo, Texas.
You're playing some older country, aren't you?
Yeah, older, some newer.
You're doing am I allowed to say stuff on the set list? Is that legal, or is that against the rules?
It's against the rules. You can say what it is.
You said you're doing Folsom Prison Blues, right?
Yes, we
Oh
are.
man, I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna sing along. Me and Kurt are Mr. Chase are gonna come up on the stage and we're gonna sing a little bit. Yeah, he'll do his cowbell. I'll have the triangle.
There you go.
I'm gonna wear a medium-sized tank top,
Oh, good. I'll wear a small.
and then
Wife beater.
got my
Do the
cowbell.
wife beater.
Anybody have any jean shorts? I mean, Mr. Chase.
Oh,
can
sure.
wear-
Did you
Some
ever
high
see?
top tennis shoes.
Did you ever see King of the Hill?
No,
One of the guys wears a wife beater and half his belly shows. To the bottom.
I never watched any
I
of the
love-
cartoon shows.
That's the only one I like. Is the King of the Hill. It's funny. It's really good.
Never watched Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, that's
or
horrible. That's horrible.
Bob the Burger.
That's all
I
terrible.
don't watch any of that.
The King of the Hill is a sort of a kickoff from Garland, Texas. They live in Arlen, Texas. He's a big cowboy fan. I think you'd really like it because of all the way it emphasizes. What do you call it?
Emphasizes.
It emphasizes Texas and this area and
Or embodies.
Yeah,
Are you
embodies.
thinking embodies?
He's a big Tom Landry fan. In fact, he took his son Bobby, and they went to when the Cowboys were in Wichita Falls, and they go up there, and they're trying to meet all the Cowboys. They're all excited. It's a great show. That's the only one I like.
Have you seen the Saturday night skit with Beavis and Butthead?
No,
You've got to watch it. I don't watch Saturday Night
Right.
Live.
I don't
Can't stand it.
not anymore.
But they did a deal where they've got the one guy. He's being interviewed, and in the audience, there's two guys sitting side by side that look exactly like Beavis and Butthead. And he says, "Well, let me answer that." And he's looking over, and he goes, "I'm sorry. What was the question?" And she answered it again. He goes, "Answer." He looks over again. I mean, they look just like Beavis and Butthead.
That's
It's
funny.
that one star that's in that new movie Stuntman
Do you know who that is?
I haven't seen.
with the blonde hair and
I can get it for you. Though.
anyway, he plays the one with the tall white hair.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you what,
They decked up, really look kind of like him.
identical.
The
Well,
teeth.
just Google Beavis and Butthead on Saturday Night Live, and when it comes up, it is like I said. I quit watching it since Chevy Chase and Belushi and Aykroyd and all them left.
Right.
But it was one of the funniest things.
Letting him walk to school?
Listen,
Is that a decision you regret?
Huh?
listen. Is this it? Oh, here it is.
Welcome to News Nation. I'm Bobby
Oh,
Moore,
it's-
and tonight's
Isn't that
live
pretty cool
stream-
how he's in it?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
You can
I
hear
can't.
it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Well, how come I can hear it?
That's weird. I can't hear it either. I was like, I know it's playing through the right system, but
Play it again.
Town Hall. We'll discuss the
Is it showing
potential
them?
power and pitfalls of the coming.
Well, I've already heard it.
you
can't hear
Did you just tried to show it. No. I'm still working the kinks out here.
Oh.
I'd have to
AI
save
revolution.
Well, you got to tell me, don't they look like
want to
them?
miss this.
Here, hold up, Father. You're the one who's supposed to be watching it anyways.
Your stance to the average American?
I'm sorry, what?
Here.
Okay.
Oh,
Sure.
look at that.
Heard of that cartoon character.
Facebook, are y'all hearing this?
You
Yeah, that's a good
never
question.
watched
Is
Beavis
it
and
just
Butthead
you
when you were
that
a
can hear
teenager?
it, or is it?
Social media. You can hear it?
No, I was
It's
pretty,
showing?
so I was
Look.
going to parties and hooking up. Professor, if
30
AI
seconds.
is left
But anyway,
unregulated,
you got to watch
what
that whole
is your
clip. It is
worst
hysterical.
Maddie, was you hearing that? Maddie.
Maddie only talks when she wants to.
That's pretty cool. I don't know why y'all
What did
weren't-
you say?
Were you hearing that he was playing the Beavis and Butthead on Saturday Night Live?
Charlie could hear it.
No. We
Okay,
gotta
so-
come back on.
See, they can hear it on social
So
media.
Facebook can hear it. That's good. So all I got to do is figure out how to show it. And then we're rushing.
We would like to take this time to say
I
thank
know
you
why.
for flying with us today here on the AutomotiveEdge.com Flight 101.
Y'all were plugged
Please
into here.
extinguish all cigarettes and cigars. Place your
Maybe y'all
seats in
should
the
start
upright
plugging in.
position and fasten your seatbelts. Please do not try to exit through the exit door.
3, 2, 1.
The information heard here on the Automotive Edge radio show may lead you to find a wealth of knowledge that could possibly save you time and money. If any of this information causes you to be bothered or upset, please sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and seek immediate help. Now, here's your host of the Automotive Edge radio show, Kurt Chase.
214-787-1190. Looks like we've got about an hour and a half left. Want to thank everybody that continually joins in. Be sure to like and share and let people know that there's somebody out there to help you with your automotive needs, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop. We can help. 214-787-1190. This segment of the show goes to Grapevine Dodge. I will be out there next week, actually working with the salespeople. Wade, the general sales manager, and his staff out there. They're under a total remodel. They have gutted the whole main showroom. They're updating everything, and I thought it was beautiful in the first place, but they're doing a total remodel on the place. And what does that mean? They have new inventory parked on the streets. To clear room, they had to fence off the whole new car showroom. And let me tell you, they're not missing a car deal. The discounts that he's given on Ram trucks, on Challengers and Chargers, the Challenger and Chargers are going away. It'll be back, I think, 2026, the new Charger electrified vehicle. So anyway, they have the inventory, the Jeeps. Whatever you're picking out, Wade's going to make a deal. I was there twice this last week and listened to Wade with the customers going, look, just pick one out. Let me take care of the numbers. You're going to be pleasantly surprised what we're selling vehicles for all the way across the board, because during the remodel, it's not as though the cars quit coming. The inventory still keeps getting stacked up, and they've got them parked everywhere, and they want them gone. This is a great time to make a great deal with a great dealership. Grapevine Dodge, William D. Tate and 121. You can find them online at grapevinedodge.com. That's grapevinedodge.com. As for Wade, let him know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. And remember, all of our sponsors are on the automotiveedge.com page. And so if you don't write everything down, just go to our website, go to the sponsor page. There they are, and visit them. Okay.
Am I on that page?
Let me think for a second now.
So how long I got to be here? Like 20 years to get on there? Like just a
25.
picture of me or something? Like
25.
Smiley face?
Well, no, we took pictures the other day.
Okay.
And my son's going to be reformatting everything. Once he's done with the caricature design on it, that's going to the website.
Oh, sweet.
And you'll be immortalized.
Gonna get my
Represent.
Gonna get my best side, I hope.
Oh, we did. We did. We got the backside. Anyway, here's possible cars coming out in the future, and we really think they're going to happen. And when I reach out to the manufacturers or the dealers and I say, hey, let me ask you, they're going, well, it's in the makings. They're not saying yes. They're not saying no. I'm going, okay, is possible, okay, well, maybe.
So who has that answer?
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say who tells me what, but I get a wink and a smile. Like the big thing was that the Maxima, that Nissan, a big publication this week, Maxima coming back all electric. And so I reached out to Justin Crane down at Burleson Nissan and said, hey, and he goes, there's talk. Because they shelf some of these names and try to bring them back, whether it's electrification, whatever the case may be. But it really looks like in 2026 that the Prelude's coming back.
Wow.
Doesn't look anything like Prelude.
It won't like the original?
Nothing like
I don't know. Well, it might be better, but it better be better, I don't know. What a great car that was.
They have a picture online, and I was over at the Ford store the other day going, is this true? The Mustang Raptor.
Oh, wow.
And it was this, almost looked like a Mach-E raised up with all the Raptor bells and whistles, tires and everything on. It looked really cool. I liked it. And these are all ICE cars.
Do you like the fact that they have to have Mustang in front of all that? See, I think I hate that. I'm just too old school. I mean, leave Mustang alone the way Mustang is. Why do you have to incorporate that into this kind of stuff?
Well, there's a couple of mindsets. One is if they add branding to a new product with old school, will more people identify with it and take a look at it? And with Ford, the answer would have to be yes, because the Mach-E, you know, because you had the Mustang Mach-1.
Right, of course.
Is doing really, really well. I mean, they are.
But is it because of that Mustang name with it?
I think so. I think the way they branded it and put it out, and you know, because you see in the commercials, you saw the different Mustangs, and all of a sudden, bam, here's the Mach-E.
Right.
The way they ran it and advertised it without a bunch of Hollywood people on it really identified that vehicle, and people like it. And so they're actually, it's selling, it's doing well. The next is, this is coming out in 2025, the new ID Buzz. And it's the new VW microbus. And it looks just like
the 60s,
the old Volkswagen. You have some refinements on it.
Right, of course.
But if you look at the ID Buzz, the microbus, it does have that old school look. It is all electric. Okay. It's not a gasoline vehicle. There it is right there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that's an interesting looking
that's
car
very
right there.
cool.
And so they're expecting, it's already over in Europe, and it's all that they're building is selling. And, you know, Volkswagen's not doing well at all. When they announced they're going all electric, all the VW loyalists went by.
Yeah.
They went up in arms. There's some brands you just got to leave alone.
Well, again, you know, we've talked about that, and there is a market. And I understand if you had got one or two models in your fleet along with ICE and along with hybrid, then you fill in the full gap of people that want that. But when you're just saying we're just going to go EV, and all of a sudden nobody's buying them, boy, you're putting your manufacturer, you're putting yourself in a bad way.
Dumb decisions. And there's a lot of people that have let the manufacturers know. So Cadillac is not going all electric. They're going to have ICE cars. Porsche is going to have ICE cars, and on and on and on. A lot of people go, well, you know, hold the horse. Now let's go hybrid. Because hybrid is killing the marketplace right now.
Yes, it is. That's the way to go.
I mean, look at the Elantra, you know, 58 miles to the highway. I'm way over what the Cafe is. And so that's the way to go. Hybrid technology is the way to go for the next umpteen years. It is not electric.
No.
It's not.
Correct.
So the Prelude, the Mustang Raptor, the ID Buzz microbus, looks like these cars will be made. I'm not betting 100%, but all the research I'm doing, everybody I'm talking to is going, it looks like it. So here's my top three that I would like to see the manufacturers bring back. If there was three cars that I could have back on the showroom floors that they could do a small batch of, because they got the money to do it, they got the capabilities to do it, would be the El Camino, the Grand National, and the Trans Am.
Especially that El Camino. They would
build
knock
those
that
cars
thing so far out of the park, they wouldn't even know what to do with it.
And do a run like Plymouth did with Prowler,
and
like
make it
Honda did with the S2000.
Make it a hybrid and do it like, you know, style it up a little, you know, fancy or whatever. But they come back with that, I guarantee they couldn't keep them on the shelf.
I'm going to do a special edition and build those cars. I'm telling you, they would knock it so far out of the park.
Yes.
Plus, the cool thing is that you would create so much traffic for those manufacturers to step out of the box, quit going mainstream, quit trying to figure out how to electrify everything, step out, take a deep breath, put your thumb and your forefinger together, breathe.
Exactly.
In with the good, out with the old.
Yes.
And get some old school vehicles into the marketplace with today's technology.
Yes.
And they would be home runs.
No doubt about that one. I guarantee you. Now, what was the other two?
The Grand National, which if you look at, which was Buick.
Right.
You had the Monte Carlo.
Right.
And then the Grand National come out with the high performance motor. You look at what these things are going through auction, anywhere from $80,000 to $200,000, depending on the condition of the Grand National.
For what year model?
Going back into the 80s. It is. And I remember we used to trade those things for nothing, and almost everything I traded for was black.
Don't you wish you
we'll
had
give
all
you
of
$7,000. We'll give you it's a Grand National. You know what?
80,000.
And I was driving them home to check them out when I was managing, and those cars were just a beast. And now it's there's some things that they could tag, you know, because Buick's numbers stink. I mean, they just Buick many years ago
Weren't they talking about going all electric too?
Yeah, they are. and they come out and they announce, we're going to take the Buick Regal
1 minute.
and we're going after the young people. Didn't happen. They have a very niche market, and if Buick would get in the game and come out, bring back some of the old stuff, being a GM product.
Charles Davis says
They
the
kill it.
wing window too.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. There's a lot they could be doing, but they've got to get this mindset of we have to go mainstream and figure out how to make everything electric.
And
it's
stop
not
making
the
it
way
look
to
like
go.
it's from outer space.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about a lot of these EVs. They just look like they're, the day the Earth stood still.
Well, you can look at the
satellite.
bumper, the front end, and know that it's electric.
Yes, definitely.
And they've all gone with the same ugly design. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. Quick break. Introduce you to some great sponsors. We'll be right back.
Maybe.
And we'll.
You want to sing a song there, Graham?
No, I was going to, but
Come on.
I guess I got a little stage for it.
In constant sorrow.
Oh, no, he's actually gonna
to
sing.
his name.
Do we lose? Are we still on? We didn't lose.
Maddie, are you there?
I think Maddie went
Still
home.
getting your light, right? Your green light.
Yeah.
Maddie,
I'm right here.
what happened?
She went home. Took a break.
We didn't hear no music.
What'd you say?
We didn't hear any music.
Took a break.
Didn't have time for music, huh? That's all right. It was fun.
Wow.
There we go.
Hey,
There you go.
I was thinking about singing this one.
There you go. Great minds think alike.
Boy, this is one of these ones that all the cover bands had to play.
Yeah, 1,000 times over. Ears.
This,
bleed.
Freebird. I had a buddy that used to work for me, and he was a drummer. He goes, I'm trying to think of the club that he's playing all the time, and he goes, we would all swear we're not playing it. We're so sick of Freebird. And then the crowd would start chanting, and he goes, and we just hated life. There was like 3 or 4 songs that every cover band wound up playing that set. That was one of them.
There was music stores I seen where they have signs of the no Stairway to Heaven played here. You're out. You start playing Stairway to Heaven on the guitar, you're out.
Is it Enter Sandman? Is that another really like more on the rock side of things, more popular one?
Mr. Sandman?
No, Enter Sandman.
No, I don't know that one.
You don't know Enter Sandman?
You?
Kurt wouldn't know. He listens to his disco. Really, you don't know that? Oh, okay. I'll play it in the car. We'll see.
So what we can do.
The mission. And I was thinking to myself,
this could be heaven or this could.
So what we can do if we start doing that, because I thought that was cool to hear that audio, and they can hear it on social media.
And then I can
And
share
if you
the
get to
screen.
where it can show the video,
I don't
think-
have to download it. I can just. I was looking at it on my phone while we were on the show, and I'll talk to you more about it after.
and
but
they
I
could
think
see
I can
it
get
on social media. But to hear it, we'll have to plug you into the black box, which would be easy to do because it's the same thing you're doing anyway.
Understandable.
But you could hear all of it and see it on.
Mr. Chase, while you're talking about electric vehicles, how do you feel about that Cybertruck look?
you know what? I drove it.
Oh, you've actually drove
Yeah,
one
I've
before.
driven it. I got in. When you get inside, it's a whole different world because you look at the outside and it's very angled.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, and I've actually seen a couple where they painted them and kind of takes the edge. I think the outside is extremely ugly.
Yeah.
They're having a lot of problems with it. But when you get in the cockpit and you drive that thing, it is unbelievable how powerful that machine is. It is because you can get level 1, 2, or 3, and that's how many electric motors you can put on.
Okay.
And I drove the level 2, and that thing flew like a wild banshee. Absolutely incredible.
Does it feel good too?
Oh,
with
yeah.
how
Total control.
Wow.
It's big, it's comfortable. You have that really cool steering wheel in it. It's reactive, the ride, the drive, the handling, and the thing about it is the torque. Because, electric motors deliver almost double the amount of torque that a ICE car will. And so that one, and then the Hummer, which is a 10,000-pound vehicle and has 1,000 horsepower, 1,000 pounds of torque. And so the guy put a silver dollar on the dash. He goes, when I say now, if you can get that silver dollar, I'll give you this Hummer. I was like, no problem. No, there's a problem.
He couldn't grab.
Yeah, 1,000 pounds of torque. I mean, I don't care unless you were Manute Bowles and had a 7-foot wingspan that you could reach out and take it. You weren't touching that silver dollar. It was incredible the amount of torque. And now you have the new Corvette E-Ray, and so the E-Ray has.
I was looking at that. You talked about that last show, didn't you?
Power to the rear wheel is gas. Power to the front wheel is electric. So the amount of torque this thing is going to deliver is absolutely incredible. So when you look at muscle cars, when you're going north of, 400 pounds of torque, I mean, you've got a machine underneath you. So,
2.5 second 0 to 60 time on the E-Ray. That's insane.
I mean, it's just, and a lot of people, they don't know how to handle cars like that, especially when you have all the different modes, and then when you hit track mode, like on my Corvette, you hit track mode, it shuts down all the computer technology. It's you're driving a car. There is no ABS, there is no lane assist, there is no nothing. There's no you're in control of the RPMs and the shifting. I mean, it's a whole different world. And I've seen a lot of people that, in fact, I saw with this one kid, I didn't know him, but he bought a McLaren and he left the dealership and put it on track mode. He made 5 miles down the road and totaled the car. So, you're looking at, I know it was one of these souped up McLarens. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm at an auction and they bring this McLaren out that's all beat to crap, and they're buying it for, parts and everything. I said, who was the freaking idiot that was driving that car? And he was standing right next to me. and he was 23, 24 years old. And he goes, I'm the idiot. And I went, what did you do? And he goes, well, I put on track mode and hit the accelerator.
It went like a jet, huh?
Oh, it did. And he hit those, the barrels that are full of water. He took out a whole section of them.
Holy cow.
And he goes, well, that's okay. He said, that's my white one. They're unloading right now.
Oh, okay, no,
I said, you going to put it in track mode? And she leaned up and goes, no. She goes, I was in the car. And I went, unbelievable. But I've had friends that have bought the Corvettes and they put it on track mode and they have no idea what they're, because you got to figure, over 500 horsepower and you're in control.
Oh, you slam on the gas.
You go back to when your dad and I were driving muscle cars, you were looking at 250, 300, 320 horsepower, but the cars were so heavy, it was a different deal. Now, this technology and the torque is so much power immediately that they don't know how to handle these cars.
Well, I had a problem with that 1970 Roadrunner that I told you that I was able to have for a little while. I took it back to my father-in-law to be before then, said I had the key and said, I can't drive this car. I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. When I took it out to Texas Motor Speedway and I put it on track mode, I got the car up to 158. And I'll show you the video when we go to break and I'm behind that pace car. Man, I'm cooking down that straightaway. I'm cooking. And my wife was in the car with me videotaping. We had some Boston cranked up.
Oh, man.
Had the top off. And I was concerned, is it going to create an air resistance, whatever. And it was incredible. But there were some people out there that you could tell they put on track mode to hit the gas car and start. I'm going, look, if you don't know what you're doing, stay off the track, which I've never been on a racetrack before, but I was very much in control of the car because I drove it on every restriction. And then when I put it on track mode, I went up there by myself and I got a buddy that is security up there. He goes, here, go to the back. And then I was opening it up, 100, 110 miles an hour. And I felt pretty good going. I mean, I was very intimidated when I got to the track that turn one. You think your car's just going to roll down, but that centrifugal force going through there. Mm-hmm. And I only hit it the first time at maybe 70, 80 miles an hour. I was like, there's no way. So Buddy was with me. He goes, and I'm not starting to hyperventilate. I'm looking at that turn and I'm going, oh my gosh, how's this car going to make it? But then you realize, it's just like a slingshot.
Yeah.
But we're in control. But then you had this father and son just bought brand new Corvettes, and then they had another track where, it was had the turns and everything. I'll be darned if they didn't smash both the cars together.
Oh.
Having a grand old time. Put it on track mode and smashed up two cars. So these cars now that they're coming out with, when you look at all your Challengers with your Red Eye, your Demon, your wide body, Jailbreak. I mean, these are cars with hundreds and hundreds of horsepowers. You look at your Porsches, you look at your, just go to your Lamborghini, your Ferrari, your McLaren, your Aston Martin, all these cars with all this torque. And there's a lot of them that are wrecking them because they just, if you Google, sports cars, being wrecked and watch some of these people. It's just dumb what they're doing with these cars. They're figuring, I'm going to be at 55, 60 miles an hour. I'm going to hit it, but they don't understand the amount of torque and horsepower at 55 and 60 that it's delivering. Next, they're off the road, over a guardrail, and it's total different principles. Back then, when you had American muscle and you hit it, it was a different principle.
Might have a little slide.
The torque was all of the rear wheel.
Correct.
Well, if you're going to crash a really nice car like that, you might as well just send it over to Graham Carver. I'll go ahead and drive that around. No problem.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Grapevine Ford, home of the love it or leave it promise. You don't absolutely love that vehicle when you get it home. Different from what? No. Bringing back Cameron Martin will take care of making sure you or Andrew Boaz, one of the sales managers, will make sure that you are in the one that you absolutely love. That's GrapevineFord.com, home of the love it or leave it promise. Quick break. Don't go away.
Already?
Hour 4 coming up. We'll be right back.
Well, that was a short set.
Abba.
So, Carver, I'll test you out here, okay? See what you think of this. It is a classic. Beautiful song.
Hey, wait, turn off my... Couldn't hear for a second. What are you doing?
I was going to plug it here and pick it out there.
Oh, it's okay.
Take it in.
Mr. Chase, 10% of Ferrari F355s are crashed. 10% of them. That's
which ones?
The Ferrari F355. That's just that car. Similar with the McLaren F1, similar with the Lamborghinis, all the Lamborghinis Diablos, all that. The Carrera, the Porsches, all of them are near 10% crash rates.
How about that for data? Huh?
Oh, they get in, and the thing about it is when you get in the cars and you look down on your dial or however your transmission set up. I have mine in full control, and then as I'm depending on what I'm doing, if I want to have a little bit of fun, like out getting close to a Bastrop, they have that highway that's 90 miles an hour. I'm going track mode. I'm telling you, I was on my way to Melinda and I had a retreat to go to that our boss puts on every year, and so this guy pulls up next to me in a Challenger, and man, I just got my new Laguna Blue Corvette, and I look over and he's like, and he wouldn't stop, and I told Melinda, I said, tighten up your seatbelt, and I hit that track mode, and I hit it, and all I saw was headlights in my rearview mirror. And, we jumped, but I'm very comfortable doing that. My bucket list, the last thing on my bucket list would be go to the Autobahn in Germany.
It would be something you need to work at getting used to.
Like riding a bike.
Just take it easy, learn how it feels, take another step with it till you don't just hit that track mode and think you got it all under control.
Except when I fall on my bike, I scrape my knee. You crash in one of those cars, depending on what speed you're going, you might disappear. So.
Well, a lot of people, they buy them and they think, well, I used to have muscle cars. I got it. So I had a buddy, he bought a Red Eye, Challenger Red Eye.
Right.
He didn't make it off the parking lot and hit the curb and destroyed the tire.
I have to laugh at that.
And I walked down, he goes, go ahead and sit. I said, you're an imbecile. And he goes, well, how much? And it wound up, $3,000 worth of damage. And leaving the lot. I'm just going to light it up. I went, really? You're just going to light it up? He goes, well, I thought I knew what I was doing.
How embarrassing.
Oh, it's greatness. I said, well, pull it back up there. Let me get your service advisor. He called me and he goes, $3,700. What is that? It's called stupidity. Can't help you there, buddy.
Did y'all stamp that on the contract?
Oh, buddy, I took pictures and I sent it out to all of our friends, and he was upset. We wore him out. We told everybody what he did.
That's so funny.
But even these, you look at the Dodge T-Rex. Man, that truck. There's videos where guys are pulling wheelies in that truck.
Really?
I mean, it's some of these vehicles. You just the Raptors. You got to realize the back end has no weight. That's why I remember when the weather was bad, all my employees, they would, well, I'm going to jump in a 4-wheel drive truck. No, you're not. You're going to get in a front-wheel drive car.
Exactly.
And I went, there's not a truck leaving this property there's no weight in the back end. I mean, even a little bit of wet ground, those back wheels are spinning.
Especially on rear wheel drive. I mean, you're all over the place.
Yeah, remember, limited slip differentials mean limited slip. It's still slipping, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
And
that's the one thing I like about front wheel drive vehicles, because, what I like about the Honda Civic that we had, all those cars that have that front wheel drive, they're very easy to handle. And in wet weather or even snow weather, you got better control over that vehicle than a lot of others out there.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But I don't even think I'd want a car that wasn't front wheel drive. But that's me.
If I was going to have a car, just a daily driver, I miss my Acura, car, one of the best cars I've ever owned. No problem. Everything else,
Is the Camry front wheel drive?
Do what?
Oh. Busted water line. We're watching a water line guy out here. We're at the home studio today. And did you want some water or something? Oh, okay. Hold on. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I go looking out the window and there's
30 seconds.
some sort of sirens, like you can see the reflection of
yeah?
blue light in the window, and I'm like, what's going on out there? And I see a dude on the ground, and he looks like he's like looking down towards the ground, and I guess he's just making sure the water company knows that they're doing their
You
job.
squeeze that top like that?
Yeah, it doesn't like to stay on these ones, I don't think.
There
It's
you
all
go.
good.
Better just fit.
I don't talk much, so when I do, I can just
Got the
throw
big
it
head.
up there. Yeah, because I got a big old skull on me. Not much in here though.
Yeah, I get a kick. One of my buddies said he's buying his son a graduation car, and it's really sad because he bought him a Challenger RT Hemi.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, this
Got
is
stolen, bought him another one, got stolen, and they thought it was an inside job in the apartments, which it was. Third one he got, he
any
told me.
turbulence, and we should arrive at our
Finally got to drive it.
destination, safely and on time. Thank you for choosing the Automotive Edge Airways, and I hope you'll follow us and use our services again in the future.
Are you ready for the show? I said, are you ready for the show? Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've all been waiting for. Please make welcome Kurt Chase and the Automotive Edge.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. This segment of the show is brought to you by Your CBD Store. And I can't tell you enough. Go to yourcbdstorekeller.com. That's yourcbdstorekeller.com. Every injury that I've had, and believe me, in the last 3 years, there's been a bunch. CBD has been the most helpful thing I've taken. The doctors write me scripts for hydrocodone. One of them wrote me one for oxycodone. And for 2 days I was on medication, and for the rest of the time I was putting on the pain cream, the spray, the gel, and I didn't take the medication anymore. And I broke my ribs. Recently I fractured 2 vertebrae, and then last week I had surgery on my jaw, and I had 2 days of medication. The rest of the time was ice, heating pads, and CBD cream. And I am blown away by that product. My daughter fractured 2 bones in her face, had a terrible car accident a few months back, and we started putting the cream on her face, and I remember I was out mowing the yard, and I came back in, she goes, Dad, my face doesn't hurt. Incredible products, but you need to learn about them, and the way you learn about them is go to yourcbdstorekeller.com, talk to Ralph, talk to Carol, talk to Christy, talk to Hannah, and understand what you're ingesting or putting on your body. Their hand lotions, their creams, their collagen creams, absolutely incredible. Bath bombs. I'm going to tell you, you want to win one over with a wife or whomever, buy the bath salts. There's a product, seltzers. I got a buddy that was kind of a heavy drinker, and now he drinks the seltzer. He doesn't drink anymore. he can't believe what that island time does. And comes home, and his wife's got a cold one ready for him, and he just started. I brought him over an 8-pack, and he called me up and he goes, I can't believe it. What? And he goes, I threw my booze away. I got to quit drinking. And now he's taking the gummies at night. I got him a jar, and he's having the island time. And his wife enjoys the just chilling, came by and got a couple. It's like, holy cow, my sister-in-law. On and on and on. I can give you all the different testimonials, but they're not about the high. They're about the health. And that's what separates them from any other CBD store. Go to your CBD store, Keller.com. Go online, click on it, and then give them a call. Let them know you're listening to the Automotive Edge radio show. You get you a nice discount, and try it. If it doesn't work, bring it back and sometimes it's trial and error. It's not that it's going to hurt you, and just find out what's going to work for you. As your CBD store, Keller.com. Well, I got a funny article here. And you know what? We thought all the wackadoodle-doos were in California.
Well, they're all over.
There's one in Vermont. There's a bunch of them. It says,
yeah, I'm sure of that too.
I am proud that Vermont will go further than any other state in enforcing fossil fuel industry to pay for the destruction caused by climate change. I'm going, really?
Hallelujah.
And it says, due to the enactment of the law, it became 5 days after they wrote it. And it says, finally, maybe for the first time anywhere, Vermont is going to hold the companies most responsible for climate-driven floods.
Well, there's nobody that lives in
Mother Nature's up there just laughing.
Nobody lives in Vermont anyway, so nobody cares.
Get this. Fires and heat waves, financially accountable for a fair share of the damages they cause. Paul Burns, Executive Director of the Vermont Public Interest Research Group. Let me help you, Paul. Paul.
Hello?
Paul, are you paying attention?
Paulie.
Whatever you're smoking, quit smoking it. Climate change did not cause that. That's just a way for you to rake in dough and get it and get promoted somewhere in Vermont to bring in more money for the state that is probably underwater. Something's going on where you're believing that these companies cause rain and wind and bad weather.
So he's blaming the fossil fuels for climate change, for the climate change.
The oil companies, the fracker, everybody. He wants them to all pay billions of dollars back to the state.
Sure.
And just think about it. The people aren't going to get a dime of this. No. It goes in, so all the lobbyists and all the people in all the different parts of the state, they get to just waste that money away. Spend it on whatever. Ice cream cone machines and vacations. Stop it.
Yeah.
Climate control, this climate crisis is not real. Al Gore started this years ago when we knew he couldn't beat Bush and become president. So what did he do? I'm going to run around and be the Chicken Little telling everybody the sky's falling because climate change. Remember back in the 90s they said that hole in the atmosphere was opening up? Well, we haven't heard about that hole anymore. I guess it quit opening up.
I guess.
It's actually supposed to, the last report says that it's closing.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And that the water levels are going up so high, and just kind of like Y2K. When it turned 2000, everything was going to shut down.
Somebody on social media posted like the level of the ocean, like, 100 years ago. And then today, it was the same.
Yeah.
Some of the bureaucratic lobbyists don't like to mention?
What?
China has double our carbon dioxide emissions.
Oh,
so
sure.
if it's such an issue, we should start with the number one emitter in the world, which is the Chinese manufacturing unit itself. So,
well, they said it's going to cost $50 trillion, he said, to become carbon neutral. And so the deal was, he says, can this stuff travel through the air? And he said, what about the other?
$50 trillion?
$50 trillion by 2050.
So where are they going to put that money to be able to
just another printout, yeah.
And he goes, what about the other countries? He goes, well, we need to work with them. So India's building over 500 coal-firing plants. Russia's building over 500 coal-fired plants, and they're only 75 miles away from the shores of the United States. But we want to pump all this money in, so they asked everyone, if we give you $50 trillion, how much will it reduce? He goes, well, the jobs and the research, and you just know they're lying. Just give us the money. We're going to squander it like we've done for the American people for the last umpteen years. That's why we're $35 trillion in debt. And give them $50 trillion, and you don't understand.
And it's all built around fear factors.
Well, the other day,
selling the people or pushing that to make people believe the things that are not really happening, and they get that money, and then we get further in debt. While, like Graham said about China, about what you said about these other countries,
which are also the other two in the top 5 with the United States.
Yeah, well, they asked they had the head of the EPA sitting there, and they said, "What is the carbon dioxide pollution in the atmosphere right now? What is the measurement?" And they all looked at each other. He's the head of the EPA, and he goes, "Here, let me help you. It's point 00315 or whatever it was." And he goes, "Okay." And you're asking for money. You don't even know what it is, but you're asking for money. This is where November 3, folks, you have got to stop voting what comes out of someone's mouth and vote on results. Vote on the results November 3rd. Hey, let's get to some questions here. We've been talking about this during the whole show. Seems like where are all the sedans going? Do you think they will build more? I have written every manufacturer telling them they're going the wrong direction. I've emailed every one of them going, please, please, please stop with all the SUVs. We're an SUV overload. And you're forcing the younger generation out of the market. And you're going to force people to keep their cars longer, and you're not going to be turning the inventory you'd like to turn because your cars are too doggone expensive. Let's get back to the basic block and tackle, and that's building affordable cars. It's a great market, but you got to build them where they're good looking. Most of them are reliable anyway, and give the younger generation a reason to get out and buy the cars. When they buy the Mustang,
the young generation, that's what I want.
Well, you know,
that's what I want to drive. I mean, if I'm not driving a truck, I want a sedan. I don't want an SUV.
Yeah, I miss my sedan. I do.
And so that's what even an older generation wants besides worrying about the younger generation. There's a lot of people of all ages want sedans. They're comfortable to drive. They're easy to drive. Good on gas.
You don't feel like your mother.
You don't feel like your mother, your father, and you can maneuver around easier than an SUV. They're just more fun to drive too.
Yeah, well, there's cars out there that when they come by, it's so funny. My boys will be with me, so I can tell you that is an elderly person driving that vehicle. And they're going, and we pull up and they're going, how'd you know that? That's why, hang on, I'll do it again. And so we pull up and this truck has a camper shell on it. And I said, that's going to be an elderly person driving that vehicle. We pull up like that. Dad, how do you know it? I said, it's so stereotyped because the manufacturers are pulling away and they're keeping, and everybody said, you know, Avalons are for old people. Buicks are for old people. Oldsmobile for old people. Cadillac for old people. And I'm like, hang on a second. Are you hearing what they're saying? If you can identify a car and go, oh, that's the car my grandfather drove, or that's the car that my mom and dad drove, they're probably not going to buy it.
Correct.
Redesign, and you can sell all the cars that you need if you're selling cool-looking cars. Because that next generation coming up, let me just tell you, you're pushing them so far out of the market, especially with the way the interest rates are. So why wouldn't you build affordable sedans if their interest rates are higher and still make it affordable for them?
Well, some of the, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the manufacturers are not even going to build sedans at all.
That's right. They're not.
No, that's insanity to me.
You would think
on
so.
top of not even having more of them, they're not even having any at all.
I agree.
Craziness. I don't get it.
Well, let's take a quick break. The warden is shutting the gates.
Warden Maddie.
Yeah, Warren Maddie. Warden Maddie.
Maddie, you still happy?
I'm always happy. What do you mean?
Well, I'm just checking. It's just a cell check. Making sure.
Yeah, I get stressed, but I'm always happy.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Fake it to make it, right, Maddie?
Something like that, yeah.
There we go. Let's take a quick break. 214-787-1190. Also, there's numerous outlets to find us. Join us here when we get back. Don't go away. It's the Automotive Ed Radio Show with Bo Carver. We'll be right back.
With Bo. Nice.
I was sitting there selling turnips on
Nice.
a big truck, crunching on a
Flatbed trip. So if I hook y'all up to this, though, when the music comes on, y'all won't be able to hear it because I have to take it out like I do. So it's probably one of y'all need to have it.
Do you remember Bo Burnham's pandering section? Textbook pandering. The song from the comedian.
Oh.
Where he sings in the country accent talking about, I got dirt on my boots, but actually I only wear luxury. Like it's, yeah. That's what this song reminds me of.
I used to say you play a country song backwards, you get your wife back, you get your truck back,
your dog still alive,
and a cold beer,
and a cold beer back.
Oh man, yeah, no, I can't do country just for that reason and that reason alone. It is
well, the
just
new
pandering.
country's a lot like that.
Well, there's some old country that's guilty of it. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
I mean,
yeah, but the old country, it seemed like they lived it.
they were actually involved in it. That's the difference.
Now I couldn't tell you one country singer from another. I know there's that Jelly Donut or whatever his name
Jelly
is.
Donut.
He's singing, and some of the stuff, all the singers, they all just blend together.
Yeah, you're right about
And
that.
the women, they're singing, and I'm going, golly, y'all all sound like sisters.
Well, back in the day, I mean, you know the voice of George Strait, you knew the voice of Toby Keith, you knew the voice of Garth Brooks, you knew and go
Alan
further
Jackson,
back even further, Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash,
Yeah, Johnny
of
Cash.
course.
When Johnny Cash drums on his guitar, I know it's a Johnny Cash song.
And you
before
love
he
Johnny
opens his
Cash songs.
mouth. I love me some
But
Johnny Cash.
these guys, modern guys, I don't know. I can't tell one from the other, and it's all about pickups, boots on the and driving in the dirt road with my girlfriend and her
from the comfort of a private jet, they're writing those lyrics
exactly.
too. That's the crazy.
They have no
part.
idea.
sitting at a drive-in movie.
Yeah,
driving. We're going in our pickup truck down the dirt road to the drive-in movie with my girlfriend and her Daisy Dukes.
Yep. I like the old song because the old songs now, there's even some country music now where they went into kind of a rapish kind of thing.
Oh, they're doing some of that.
I don't get it.
the Jelly Roll does some of that stuff. Yeah.
What's his name?
The Jelly Donut, you
Jelly
guys.
Donut.
Jelly Donut.
Jelly Donut's a little funnier, yeah. I don't like that at all. I actually don't. I don't mind hip hop or R&B and stuff like that, but I think you should leave it in its own section of seating and let the genres do their thing.
Didn't Beyonce just come out with a country album? I don't know.
Yeah.
She did a country song a while ago I knew of, and I don't know what she's done recently.
Well, you know what? I think back, Mo Bandy.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie Millsap.
Oh, beautiful.
Mickey Gilley. I mean, you just knew, and all the songs were clean. You understood them. Randy Travis. There's no mistake in his voice.
No.
And now, so you sit there and go, who is it? I mean, just think some guy named Jelly Donut. You're going, are you for real? I mean,
Charlie Davis says the guy that looks like a bad jelly roll. Well, he's got that prisoner look on his face.
He's an ex felon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they sang one of his songs that somebody made up in the cell with him the other day on TV. I'm sitting there listening to it going, I don't get it. And then when the country singers come out and they do their shows and stuff, they all sound, if you closed your eyes, I'm guarantee you would not be able to tell half of them who they are.
So,
like I said, the meaning's all the same.
Yeah. Art Renaissance says the girls, the Costellos show great promise in country music. Have you heard of them?
The Costellos.
Costellos.
Never heard of them.
CAST.
Promise as in like they're new? Are they newer?
He said they got great promise.
It's a
so I
musical trio. These three blonde girls.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them. 2 million followers, but see, this is a problem. When I see Nashville, I see Nashville on the Twitter bio or Instagram bio, I already want to click off because you know what they're doing in Nashville, and nothing of it is country, and nothing of it belongs in country music. But they're from Georgetown, Georgia. So
I used to like some of the stuff on Hee Haw. Some of it was a little bit too country for me. Buck
Owens though was fantastic.
Yeah, Tammy Wynette. I mean, I know, but I'm saying some of it I enjoyed. Some of it, was, deep Southern hillbilly country music.
My favorite was Junior Sample.
I'm gonna give these Costellos a listen.
Don called me and says, "Love, peace, and soul." Love train.
You can't go wrong.
That's a great song.
When Melinda and I are driving around, this stuff comes on, man, I just start rocking it in the truck. I do. I just start boogieing on down.
Well, Grant probably doesn't know this, and Maddie probably doesn't know it. Maybe a lot of our listeners know it, but this song was from the show Soul Train with Don Cornelius as the host.
Yep.
And it was one of the awesomest, baddest, fantastic shows. Saturday nights, wasn't it? Wasn't it Saturday night?
During the day.
Oh, it was during the day?
Yeah, during the day.
Saturday morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Saturday getting close to lunchtime.
Yeah, late morning. And man, was it fantastic.
The black spinoff of American Bandstand.
Right, correct. But
and it was so much better. The music was incredible. The only bad thing that came out of Soul Train, the only bad thing is when white folk tried to mimic the Soul Train.
Tried to dance.
A little ugly.
Well, the midnight special was Saturday night.
Oh, yeah. With who?
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, buddy.
Great times, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Miss him, man.
Yeah, and there was another one. What was the show that Dionne Warwick hosted?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Dionne Warwick hosted that one on Saturday nights. It was absolutely fantastic.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. It was nothing but with singers.
I don't know. Somebody may help
something
us
golden
out.
Or gold.
I don't remember. I don't remember what it was.
You'd have to Google music show Dionne Warwick hosted.
All right, goes Junior Samples. BR549.
Anyway, those were great times.
Yes.
214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. Remember, if you have an automotive need, whether you're buying, selling, trading, leasing, parts, service, or body shop, go to theautomotiveedge.com. It's a free service. We're going to hook you up with the right people, and I'll be with you through the whole process. It's not like I just dump you at a dealership or dump you at a service department. We're going to stay connected. I have a lot of people that call me and say, hey, here's the list of things that need to be done. Okay, what's the mileage on your car? What are they saying? And you wouldn't believe how many ROs, which is a request order for work, that they write, and we start narrowing it down or maybe keeping it the same and just making sure you're taken care of. And especially when you're buying those cars. There's too many people already this month that have called me, or last month, that got shafted on buying a pre-owned car. I mean shafted. And there's nothing I can do to help them. Absolutely nothing.
Well, you've been talking over the last couple of weeks about how much rain that we've been getting and the flooding in the Houston area, and even all up in this area too now with all the rain. And the flooding vehicles are going to start pouring into the market.
Yeah, these people that, they advertise a car for sale and they're buying them, they're stripping them down, cleaning them up, boom, right back up to market. And you're buying yourself a real tough bucket of bolts. You really are.
And you need somebody that can look at that vehicle and point out where this thing has been underwater, because you probably don't know. You might know. I'm not saying not everybody out there don't know, but the average consumer, like myself, and the average people out there, they're not going to know these things. But Kurt can take a look at that vehicle and to tell you this car's been underwater, it's been wrecked, and it's not lined up right. These kind of eyes is what you need to know before you purchase a vehicle. And if you don't do it and you don't take advantage of the free service, I said that, free, doesn't cost you anything, but it's going to cost you a lot if you don't. So just go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, put your name and phone number down there and say, I'm looking at possibly buying this pre-owned vehicle. Could you give me a call and help me take a look at it and get yourself in a safe position?
No doubt about it. 214-787-1190 is the number. Let's get some more questions. Kurt, what are the things you look for in a title when buying a car? Great question. A lot of people don't know what TMU is on a title. And I've seen, especially in a lot of the older cars, you see TMU, Tom, Mary, Ulcer. University, TMU. It means true miles unknown. And there are some cars. I did look at a Porsche the other day, an older Porsche, about 30 years old. It had a TMU sticker on it. But they had the odometer from the time it was taken off When it stopped, he pulled up in his driveway. It stopped. He had pictures of it, and then he had pictures of it. He took it to the Porsche store, and they put a new odometer on it. That car I'm not afraid of. Even though it was a TMU car, it didn't hurt the car because of the documentation on it. And there was a sticker on it from Porsche that they had put the new odometer in it, and the car was towed, not rolled, meaning they didn't drive it. Once the odometer went out and he pulled in his driveway, he called Porsche, they picked up the car, and they put a new Odo on it. So that TMU didn't bother me. But other cars that have TMU, and they said, oh, well, they had to put a new dash in it. I don't care. TMU cars I'm not interested in. I'm just not, because you really don't know unless it's good, hard documentation that, when I hear people, well, it went out 6 months ago, but I only, I'm not interested. But people that really, their odometer goes out and they contact the manufacturer or the dealership and go, hey, I got a problem with my odometer and it's all documented, I don't have an issue with that. But the ones that say, well, it went out and I only drive 8,000 miles a year, so just add 8,000 to it. I'm not going down that road.
Is there a way for them to run back an odometer?
The old school ones you can. Well, there's ones that they can do electronically that they can plug in and adjust it.
So there's
there's guys that can do anything they want.
Yeah, of course, they can steal your car. I guess.
Well, when you go to, Auto Check, when you go to Carfax, I've seen some where they go, you look at the stages, and it went in the shop at 54,000, 68,000 miles, 122, and it goes up, and then it's for sale at 82,000 miles.
I got you.
And wait a minute, what's the problem here? Now, sometimes on Carfax or Auto Check, they can fat finger it and put in the wrong. Like we saw one that it had 28,000 miles, but they fat finger said 280,000, and so the guy goes, I don't care. They changed the odometer. I said, buddy, it's a brand new freaking truck. Somebody fat fingered.
They just made a mistake,
and it took a big process to get it out and adjusted. But when you're looking at the Carfax and you look at all the adjustments on it, and then all of a sudden it goes, wait a minute, now it backed up. That's when the flags go up. The other one is a total loss, meaning the insurance paid it off, and it's a total loss vehicle. Fake titles. There's a ton of fake titles out there. I've told the story where the gentleman, they're eating dinner, and this wrecker pulls up and hooks up to the car and takes off. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? The police are there. And he goes, sir, this is a stolen car. He goes, what do you mean it's a stolen car? I got the title and everything. They go to the guy's house. The cops actually drove him and his family to the house. He brings out the title. It was a bogus title. And he handed the guy cash. It was a rental car. And the guy printed out a bogus title and sold him the car.
Sold the rental car?
And they actually found the guy, and he had like 200 bogus titles ready to be printed in his apartment.
Oh, my Lord.
The other one is salvage title. Salvage title and total loss are pretty much the same thing. The car's been hit harder than Joe Frazier, and the insurance wasn't going to do anything with it. And you got to be careful also, because in Texas, you can go 100% to loss to repair. So remember that, depending on your insurance company, instead of them doing a total loss, I've seen up to 90% repaired. Now, the thing is, how well is the repair done? How much of that is labor and how much of that is parts? And so I break that down. I saw a car the other day, $16,000 worth of damage, and one family member was selling it to another family out of state, and he said, well, it had $16,000 worth of damage. That's not true. That's
you might have had $3,000 worth of damage with $10,000 worth of labor.
Right. And so you have to look at the work order on it and go, hang on a second here. At labor rate at $250 an hour, or whatever their labor rate is, to average about $200 an hour and 300% markup in parts, how much actual damage was done to the vehicle? And so when I looked at it, and the big thing was that the dash had to come out, they had to replace the OB2 sensor, a lot of electronic parts. And they put them all in OEM, original equipment from the manufacturer. And I said, this is a good car. They really did well. The $16,000 is just the retail markup on all of this stuff. The actual damage to it and repairs, parts, and everything was about $8,000. And I didn't have any problem because it was all OEM, and it had the OEM stamps and stickers on the vehicle. I'd have bought the vehicle, which they did, and they're happy with it.
And another thing you got to worry about is title loan cars.
Yeah.
Where they go get a loan on that vehicle through a title loan, and then they want to sell it to you, do a false, title, and you're driving a car, and they're going to be looking for you.
Yeah, and that's where you got to search for release of lien.
Yeah.
And so if you don't search for release of lien, meaning there's no liens on the vehicle, you could buy it with somebody else's debt, and they can hook that car, and you're out.
Yep.
They own it. 214-787-1190. That's 214-787-1190. We got a couple of segments left here. We are at home base today here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show on 1190 KFXR, part of the iHeartMedia Network. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Charles Davis says, I remember back in the day you could use a drill motor and roll a speedometer backwards. LOL. Just better not get caught doing it.
Yeah, you had it open. It had these little plastic gears,
Yeah.
and you just hooked up into it and just spun that puppy back.
Oh, my gosh.
Because nobody kept records.
That's true.
When you went and had an inspection done, it was written by hand.
I do remember where people were real cautious back in that day of buying cars that they were leery of the mileage.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Sure.
And so it's just one of those things back in the day. And look at the mayor. Hello, Felix.
Hey, have you got that grill together and got some meat on it? What are you doing?
Bring it on over. Hello, team, he says.
He bought him a new grill yesterday, and we unloaded it, and I figured he'd have it put together by about 6:30, 7 o'clock, and throw some
I'm smoking by now.
throw some dead animals on it.
Ralph Paul says here. Good to see you, Ralph Paul, again.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, he's actually here?
Yeah, can you go to the front door real quick?
Yeah. He's like here as in
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
We can let him borrow
Front
that
door.
headset or guess. So you going to put him on? You can borrow mine if you want. You can just borrow mine if I want. Where is it? All right. All right. Let's move. You got the other chair over there, right? Okay. Yeah, we're rearranging the furniture. No, he's getting another headset. What did he say, my brother? How you feeling? Good. You looking good? You've met my son for the first time. This is Graham Carver, my son. This is Ralph Paul with the Your CBD store. Come on in here in the middle, Ralph. Oh, he's going to the bathroom. All right. What? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, I like that. That kind of looks good. You could change it up every so often. And Facebook, thank you for being a part of our show today. We're... Uh-oh. Am I missing something? Oh, Maddie, you talking to me?
Yes. Where's do you know where Mr. Chase is?
Yes, he just went to get another headset.
Okay, I was gonna let you guys know that Jerry will be filling in for me on June 15th.
Okay. Where are you going?
I'm going to California.
Oh, boy, don't get caught up out there. Get in trouble.
I won't, I promise.
Just a vacation or visit some friends or neighbors or what?
I'm visiting a special friend.
Ah, okay. I got it. I hear you.
Hey, it can't be that special if you're not saying any names.
It's. Is there any benefits involved with this?
Yes, we haven't seen each other in like 3 years.
Oh,
and so
shoot.
since he's getting out of the Marines soon, for his birthday, he told me I could come see him. So yeah.
He allowed it.
He allowed to.
He requested leave and he's
Okay,
allowing it.
Oh, sweet.
That's awesome.
How long are you going to be gone?
Sorry?
How long are you going to be out?
For a month.
4 days.
Oh, she's not going to be with us June the 15th.
I know.
She's going to see
Thanks a lot, Maddie.
a beautiful boyfriend out in
You're going to see a boyfriend? You don't have a boyfriend.
Not yet.
Not yet. She's
You're going to
working on it.
California to see a guy?
Don't tell my dad.
Uh-oh.
Kidding, he knows.
I'm going to make sure.
I
I'm
bet
calling
he
him
doesn't
right when we
know.
get off air.
Well, he's okay with it. I'm not paying. He's not paying.
Wow.
He's not paying. Are you paying?
No, sir.
He's paying to bring you out there.
Yes, sir, for everything.
No, Maddie, that is never good.
Yeah, that just means he
What do you
expects you to
mean?
pay elsewhere. Okay, you gotta have respect for yourself. You gotta say no. No, you can do whatever you want. You're above the age of 18. This is life. Go to California, see.
I like Art. He says, I knew someone long ago that would buy a brand new car and disconnect the speedometer.
Yeah, you could do that, couldn't you?
So you did. You just undid the cable and wired it up inside the car and drove it.
It's crazy.
I like your new ad for the Automotive Edge. That catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Good ad.
radio?
Yeah, the radio ad. It's different than it used to
And
be.
it wasn't Kurt, was it?
No.
See, I told him that this morning.
No, it's just a good ad.
He didn't know about it.
Well, no, I sent him in all the scripts.
Ah.
So I did 2 for the other station, so I guess has somebody else do this one.
Well, he did a good voice.
214-787-1190 is the number. That's 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. You know, June is kind of a quiet month in the auto industry, so the rebates are going up, incentives are going up, interest rates are kind of depending on if you go with the circumvented rates. And right now, as I'm looking through most models, there's a few that are offering at least 0 for 36 months. Most of them. The average rate across the board, incentivized rate, is about 3.9. There's a bunch of 0.9s, and the incentives have increased almost double. So there's some really good buys out there. There's a bunch of good leftover 2023s. Remember, nobody builds a bad car. They loaded up some of these dealers, and some of them just got shipped some 2023s that were left over. And so there's some really good buys out there. But here's what you want to do. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, and let's get you with the right people. Find out all the money, all the incentives, and make sure you're taken care of. It's just that simple. Go to theautomotiveedge.com.
I'm all right.
And so before we jump on here with Ralph, let me knock out a question that came in a bunch of times. Do you take the rebate or the APR? You got to do the math. If you do $25 per thousand, and actually it's closer to $28, $30 per thousand because the higher rates, then do the math between that and a rebate. If you look at Eldorado Chevrolet McKinney, they're giving you $8,000 off before rebates. So the interest rate doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but what I'm saying is if you were to take the 0 APR over the rebates, you would lose. Okay? If you're getting $8,000 and some of the rebates that you qualify for, you could qualify up to $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. Then you divide that out by the interest rate and nothing competes. So if you do 25 per thousand and you do the math and you go up 4 points, you're still way ahead with the rebates, taking those over the APR. So the APR, I saw were level 1, tier A, tier 1, how they determine their different levels, is about 6.65, and it was average about 7.1 leading up to May, that these rebates come in way ahead of that. So if you can pick up a big rebate and be under 7% on a brand new vehicle, that's the way to go. If it's $1,000, take the APR. If it's $500, take the APR. I get it. Versus these big ones that are out there, if I can get $10,000 off and I'm paying $675, I'm still winning. I'm driving off the lot in equity. I'm going to be adding a little bit more to each payment and paying that thing down, and I'm a winner driving off the lot. But let's do the math on it before you buy the car. Go to theautomotiveedge.com, click on Ask Kurt, leave me your name and number, and let's hook you up. Joining us, the man, the myth, the legend. The PGA is begging for him to come on board and play. The great Ralph Paul, owner of your CBD store in Keller. How are you?
So the Pickleball Association's wanting you out there too. They say,
yeah, I'm in big demand. You know,
I hear they want you to be the poster child for like 20 brands right now.
Yeah, even Jerry Jones called me the other day.
Well, he needs you. He needs you more than anybody.
He told me to suit up and suit up, and I told him I was busy. But anyways, I had to turn all these people down. But it's great to be wanted.
It's tough being you, huh?
Yeah, it's great to be wanted.
I hear you. Well, I was talking it up 2 segments ago about how your CBD store in Keller has given me a complete different perspective on life when it comes to I didn't need all the hydrocodone, I didn't need all the pain pills, muscle relaxers, because we go with the spray and then the cream, and it's knocked out 80% of my problems. Still, there's a little pain. I mean, obviously, medication, a high concentrate, a hydrocodone or whatever is going to do something. But they wrote me a script, and I've only taken 3 after the surgery on my jaw a week ago Wednesday. And he goes, if you need more, call me. And I've got plenty left over that I'm not taking. They'll get flushed down the toilet because I've been using your product.
That's so glad to hear. We hear these stories every day, and again, I had surgery about a month ago, and they gave me all these medication. You need more of this, that, and I took it for about a day, and I went back to my CBD, and I really haven't had any issues. They keep on asking me, "What's your pain level?" And I said it was pretty much nothing. So, anyway, such great stories to listen to every day. We hear these things, and I'm so grateful that it's helped you.
I just need people in my family to start paying. I did bring over some gummies and a 4-pack of Island Time to a family member, and she called me and she goes, and she is in a very high stressful job, and she goes, I drank half of that, and I just want to call and tell you I love you. So I knew it was working. I knew what it had done. And she said, I didn't even need the gummy. So the next night, she didn't have the seltzer. She took the gummy. And she said she woke up and she was scared. She didn't know how long she was sleeping and woke up at 6 o'clock. Normally she's up 3:34. Mine working because of her job, trying to compute that day's work and everything. And she was like, I wish I would have known. I said, well, now you know.
Yep.
I said, so do me a favor. Delay me some money, whatever that deal's called, and start paying for it.
It's called
Venmo.
Zelle.
What is it?
Zelle.
Zelle or Venmo?
Venmo.
Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle.
Oh, okay.
Apple Pay.
Well, then they ought to spell it Zell. What's up with the E? I guess they're from France or something. But anyway, everybody that I've turned on to it, even my closet users, love it.
We have such high-end people that come to our store, officials and Keller and so forth, and it's just been such a joy. Again, my wife and I have been retired for years, and just rewarding helping people.
Well, you look at it as a ministry because you don't have to do this.
Exactly.
And you'd give it away if you didn't have an overhead.
Exactly.
And so we know that about you and your heart, your family and their heart. And that's what makes it more special because of that it is a way to present to people much greater alternatives than a lot of the stuff that doctors and pharmaceutical companies want you to do.
Exactly. And our staff has the same heart.
Right.
Hannah has been a great asset to our company and so forth, and Jeremy and Peyton. And so anyways, again, it is a ministry, and we just have high-quality products. In fact, I'm flying out there on the 16th to go work with our doctor and so forth. And
back to Florida, huh?
Yep. He's coming out with new products, better products. And, again, we've become the number one largest brick and mortar company in the world on CBD. We're second as far as volume goes, but they're really focused on quality. And again, it's about the health, not the high.
Although you have some things that'll get you a little buzzing, but it's not about that. We don't want to discourage somebody that like the seltzers. It's an alternative to alcohol, but it's a healthier alternative.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you're not intoxicated. You're not blurred vision.
Correct.
It's hitting the receptors and changing your system. It's not. I've drank a just chilling and got behind the wheel and I was just fine. What it did, it brought everybody's different.
Right.
But it took my stress away. And I've replaced that with that spray. I used to have that spray and I'd spray that underneath my tongue. I'd see traffic and I didn't care. It took my stress level to a different point. And that's what it does. It doesn't get me thinking about I need a glass of wine or I need a cold wine and drink beer anyway. But and I have that, but I'm in total control.
Sure. And, I like to tell my testimony. I'm 69 years old. I've been on blood pressure medicine.
You look like 39, man.
Well, thank you, sir.
That's why he's in such high demand.
But, again, I've been on blood pressure medicine for 40 years. I'm taking half of what I used to, and my blood pressure is normal. In my 50s, they always wanted to give me cholesterol medicine. Now my numbers are normal. And anybody even close to my age is on either blood pressure medicine, diabetes medicine, or cholesterol medicine, or all three.
Right.
And so, it's just an alternative.
30 seconds.
And again, it's putting everything in balance in your system.
30
And
seconds.
we are USDA approved organic, which is a big factor. And we do ship for free. So the key is communicate with us. If you would call the store, come by, whatever, we would love to have some dialogue with you because everybody's different. A lot of this is based on weight, severity, metabolism. Different products work for different people.
Yep. Joining us, my buddy Alfred, and Alfred can attest that Scott was a cheater on the golf course.
We got to take a break.
Because Alfred and I played a whole lot of golf together. Thanks for joining us, and say hello to your beautiful wife, Kathy. Let's take a quick break. 214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge Radio Show, helping you with all your automotive needs. Take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, so I had to have another biopsy here just last week, and the doctor said, take your pants off and bend over. And I said, where do I put my pants? He said, next to mine. I got a million of them.
What's up with you, Alfred? We need to go swing the sticks, buddy. I'm just about 100% from my accident, and love to play another round of golf. But it used to be me and Alfred, Scott Simmons, and I'm trying to think who else we played. We played with Ricky and a host a lot, but
and Tiger Woods.
Yeah, Tiger, he stunk. We beat him every time. But Scott was a big cheater. At 25 cents a hole, he was a cheater.
25 cents a hole?
Oh yeah, he still cheated. He's the only guy I know that could walk into a jungle and find his ball. It didn't matter. He's the only one that hit it in the water, but his would go in the lake and roll right up to the edge. It was amazing. He had the coolest golf balls in the world.
Floating.
Yeah, and I remember the first time I told him, I said, buddy, here's $1 for the next 4 holes. Quit cheating. And boy, this guy got mad. But you ask Alfred, there was one time where I was on the tee box. I got so mad, I hit like a dozen in the woods. And I was not leaving that tee box till I hit a straight shot. I didn't care because I always brought like 3 dozen balls with me.
Mulligan.
No, there were no mulligans. It was anger.
I got you.
And they were dying laughing. Everyone shanked in the woods here and over in the woods there, and they're like, hey, Kurt, there's people behind us. We'd tell them to wait. And then finally I'd hit that straight shot. All right, let's go.
Are you back on the course yet?
I've been hitting some balls. Making a tee time Tuesday.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm going to get out there and get back, and I'm having no trouble swinging. It's just I don't have the same endurance that I used to have. So, but that's getting better every day, man.
How much endurance does it take to get in and out of that cart?
Well, you'd be surprised, when it's 90 degrees out and the heat and everything. It isn't like running a marathon. However,
we may be. What part of Florida are you going to?
Bradenton. The headquarters is in Palmetto there, right next to Bradenton. So
yeah, we're
in Bradenton.
Maybe flying out the 16th to Pensacola.
Well.
My family's all gathering at some...
That's not too far.
Hotel in Pensacola for 5 days.
Well, that's up north, right? Pensacola?
Never been there.
North.
I always go to Naples.
Yeah.
I go hang out with the snotty rich people.
A wise man.
I'm the only blue collar, I don't give a crap guy going to Naples.
A real mentor of mine growing up and so forth, he's worth $1 zillion. He lives in Naples, and he always made a comment to me. He says, if you think you're old and you live in Naples, you're not. And if you think you're rich and you live in Naples, you're not.
Yeah. When I went to Naples last time, we got to go by and see the Windex family home, and the glass is blue like Windex.
Really?
Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's a palace. And then we met, they call him the Ding Dong guy, and he owns the rights to the filler for Twinkies and Ding Dongs.
Oh, wow.
And then we met the Playtex guy, and his family invented the Playtex Club. They own all the patents. So every Playtex club, he gets like 0.5% of a penny or whatever it is. I'm like, well, how do you make money? You realize how many latex gloves are
Probably
sold?
billions.
Oh, I mean, you pull up, and there's just this palace. And so it was great to hear all the stories of who lived in these developments, and so we're on the boat, and he says, who are you? He goes, hey, I'm the Ding Dong guy. I'm like, this is outstanding, that you met some guy, had it, and it's lard and sugar.
Isn't Judge Judy's house down that way?
Let me tell you, Judge Judy, we pulled around to see the building of her house. That is disgusting. It is. There's an arm that comes out of Naples. You go through this one area and you just take a ride. I don't know the direction, but anyway, he goes, we're going to go see Judge Judy's new home. And, everything there is built cinder block, rebar, and concrete all the way up. And we turn a corner, so you see the side of this house. I'm like, wow, that's pretty nice. And then it goes on and on. And I went, there's a 5-foot lady that lives in, it is beyond a palace. It is probably one of the biggest homes I've ever seen in Naples.
Wow.
It is unbelievable. You're making $50 million a year.
For several years.
Yeah,
and I have no telling what she's making now on Prime.
10 seconds.
Absolutely incredible.
10 seconds. You ready for takeoff?
I'm ready.
Oh, is this our last?
This is it. Coming up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to Fort Lauderdale, but it was okay. Been to Tallahassee, okay.
Well, June's going to be hot.
And,
the humidity. June is
214-787-1190. It's the Automotive Edge radio show. You know what's cool about the show? We have segments for your health. We have segments for your home. We have segments about cars. We have segments about credit. We take care of everything here on the radio show. If you go to theautomotiveedge.com and you click on the sponsor page, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised to see how many great people that we get to meet. And I met the folks at your CBD store at an event at the new tennis center, which obviously when you look at my physique, I don't play tennis. But anyway, they had all these, it's a big fundraiser every year. And I met James, and James says, here, try a couple of gummies. And I'm drinking wine. So I'm like, what effect could that be? But actually, I came by your store, and actually he sold me a big thing of the orange rings. Took them home. We absolutely loved them. And then we started coming by, and we created a relationship with the folks at your CBD store. And the reason, your health, your home, and your car, kind of all go hand in hand. First is, for me, is God, my family, and my career. But then, through that, we've got to meet so many great people that are in our lives now. And not only does Ralph participate and sponsor the show, but that him and Carolyn's family has become family.
Absolutely.
We dine together, we hang out together, we talk all the time. And I apologize because I spoke to you yesterday and I didn't look at the message going, hey, do you want to go down the radio? I figured you got busy and didn't call back. And then I looked at the message and went, oh, well, I forgot to call Ralph back. But anyway, when I got to meet Ralph, he doesn't make medical claims. He doesn't promise you if you take it, you're going to be healed the rest of your life. You're not going to need surgery. You're going to recoup quicker because you still got to take care of yourself. Nutrition. And when you're taking care of your body, and I noticed that when my jaw, with the surgery, I've lost about 9 pounds, is that the effects are better as I'm taking in better foods and cleaning my body out, which I'm going to do a cleanse next week, that the effects are even better.
Absolutely. And, my wife is a retired nurse. And, one of the things we bring to the table, other supplements and so forth, even products that we don't sell. We've been a big fan of turmeric right now and some other supplements that if you would call, my wife can discuss them with you. But, we meet so many people and we've been educated. We have so many doctors that send people to us, chiropractors that send people, and they really educate us about a lot of different things. So we're not just about the CBD. We're about, everything that can help you. And, my wife speaks the language better than I. Her staff, Hannah, Jeremy, they really do a great job as far as helping people. And so anyways, just, there is a difference in CBD. So give us a call. Talk to us. We ship for free. We ship stuff all over the country every day. We even have auto ship for a lot of people. And, communicate with us, and we'd be happy to help you.
Well, one of the things that we've talked about in the past is that you can see CBD signs in convenience stores. All of maybe
I see them at the hardware store.
I was going to say you've seen them in the hardware.
Yeah, you've seen the green emblem, and then you say, "Hey, what's in there?" I don't know. The owner made us put it up.
So we're trying to say if you've participated in some of that and it didn't work or whatever, and they don't know what
don't write it off.
Please go to yourcbdstorekeller.com get the phone number there, make the call, get the dialogue, because I promise you, it's a difference in what you're looking at from those locations.
Let
Big
them know you're listening to the show. Come out of the closet, stop by. If it doesn't work, let them try another recipe that worked. My brother went through a couple of products. Now he's on one that he loves. It's all about the health, not the high. That's your CBD store at Keller.com. You can find them on the Automotive Edge website on the sponsor page. And kick off, forget all the resolutions, just start cleaning your body up and feeling better. And you can do it with your CBD store in Keller. We take it every day, my wife and I. Have a great weekend. Remember, turn off those electronics. Get reconnected. Tell that person you love them. Have a great and safe weekend. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Automotive Edge Radio Show. Maddie back in studio.
Yes.
You're the best.
Yes.
And she won't be here for the pizza party.
On the
15th.
That's when you decided to make the pizza party is the day I'm gone? Really?
But
We're going to have to do another one.
I thought it was the 25th for the your party.
No, it's 15th.
Oh.
Anyway, your CBD store, Keller.com. Ralph, thanks. Everybody have a great weekend. We're signing off on the station, then we'll get signed off here on all of our live streams. Be safe.
Thank you.
And thank you, all of our social media sites. We want to thank you for participating. Thank you, Art, with that thumbs up all
Thanks,
the time.
Maddie.
And be sure and like and share. Even though you might be watching us on maybe Facebook, if you wouldn't mind going to YouTube, go to youtube.com, search the Automotive Edge radio show. Go in there and subscribe, because that'll boost the possibilities of moving up the site up. We do appreciate that. We're on LinkedIn now. On Kurt Chase's page or site on LinkedIn. We're broadcasting there now.
And our first week, we had 249 engagements on LinkedIn.
How about that?
And these are all business owners, people in the auto industry, some people not in the auto industry. I'm not going to be surprised, because I got a lot of responses already that we go well over 500. And, it's not about, hey, let's have the most listeners. Let's be the most helpful. Let's introduce you to people like Ralph that can help you with certain ailments that you may have. Let's help you with Armin Robinson real estate. There's so many facets that we can help you with. And then obviously buying cars, servicing your car. A lot of people are going to be running around getting their cars ready for the summer. It's all these things that we want to let more and more people know, because this part of the radio industry is kind of phasing out. We're going strong while a lot of people are retiring, but what we do is different from anybody else.
So we appreciate y'all doing that, and share, like. Until next weekend, be safe. We'll be back next Saturday morning on all these sites and on the radio as well, on Talk Radio 1190 AM, KFXR. Till then, be blessed. Love you, and see you next Saturday.
Wait a minute. Come join and see you tonight.
Oh, yes. Don't forget, if you're still in our listening ear, I'll be performing, bringing out the purple bass, Kurt's purple bass.
First people.
With the Clinton Moody Band down in Aledo at the Summer Blast 2024 and Aledo. We kick off. We do two shows, one at 6:30, one at 8:30. Come out, have a good time with us. It's going to be nice down there.
Bring a cowbell.
Bring cowbell and foghorn or whatever else and join in. Till then, I hope you'll be out tonight. Not, we'll see you next Saturday. Have a great weekend.
All right.